We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
All right, cut and print. Beautiful, guys. Dynamite. That is...
Why they did that to that lady?
Girl, you know it's the Wayans. You know how
they just can't do right. Because I'm like watching it over. It's like why?
Like why was that necessary? Girl, good thing it's not 2020 and they have an opening like that. Cause girl,
that is somebody's grandmother,
a woman, and y'all find this funny?
It really
a black woman,
a black woman at that, an older black woman. Hey y'all,
hey, happy New Year,
happy New Year,
2021.
We haven't taken since last year. We're way more consistent than recovering party girls.
I know, girl, but you know, we still getting through this pandemic thing, child, and you know.
And TV ain't really been popping.
Yeah, I mean, they trying to start it back up. You know, everybody's getting accustomed to the pandemic, so.
Yeah, so maybe this summer will be good for TV. I'm thinking.
Maybe. How's your new year been so far?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm in therapy, you know? If y'all listen to Recovering Party Girls, you know all the tea. Yeah, just here at this point. Yeah. Kicking it, minding my business.
I feel you know, pretty much same for me. I've been Roku and chilling, you know?
So, I've been telling Chrissy to get a Roku. I think I've offered to buy you a Roku a couple of times out. Chrissy would not get a Roku. So apparently she was gifted, was it a Christmas gift?
Yeah, my
Your sister?
Shout out to Tasha.
Hey, Tasha. Tasha, her sister, bought her a Roku, and Chrissy's been living her life.
The gift
that keeps on giving.
Like, y'all just don't know, like, all December, like, I've just really been getting my life, like, because, you know, I have the TV upstairs in my office, and that's a smart TV. But remember, I took Hulu off of it because after Hulu's update, it stopped working on my TV.
Yeah.
And so I was watching that.
Because I remember you were mad because you couldn't watch.
I wanted to watch, I started Boondocks all over again. I was binging.
You know the Boondocks is on HBO Max.
HBO Max got everything.
Because I was looking for the Boondocks. I had the Boondocks DVD, but this is the effed up part. The one DVD that has like the 2 or 3 episodes I love, I cracked it. I don't know how I cracked it. I didn't realize it until one day I went to grab it to watch it. I was like, this is cracked. And it's my favorite one. Dang. It's the one with, and this is the gag too on HBO Max. They got the Tyler Perry episode.
They do?
Yes.
Because you know Tyler snatched that quick.
And so I had the DVD. The DVD always had it.
Okay.
But when it was on Hulu and stuff, they stopped playing it.
Yeah.
But then that's why I was shocked. Like, I was going through it on HBO Max. I'm like, they got the Tyler Perry. Dude, does Tyler Perry? Well, he can't probably fight HBO.
Yeah.
He rich. He ain't that rich.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got the Tyler Perry episode
Tyler don't want his material on HBO Max too. So
it's Tyler Perry's that episode, and then it's the one where I like to do bad things. The little boy smoking on cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I think the fundraisers on that one too. So it's like the one CD that I enjoyed, that I watched the most. I cracked it, of course.
Yeah, no, but I've been enjoying Roku. I've been watching everything.
Catching up, because it's so many shows I've been telling Chrissy to watch.
Yeah. But I've been downstairs, like, just catching up on everything, you know, and I've been fasting because, you know, I got to start my year off with giving the first of my year to the Lord.
So she gets off social media, and I have to stop myself from pulling her into it.
But, you know, like, honestly, I've really missed food more so than social media.
I can see that.
Like, yeah, with social media, like, and with this fast, it's just been very, like, more clear, my mind, my thought process. So, yeah, I've been doing that. I started yoga. So, you know, I've just been reset.
Wellness.
2021 wellness.
wellness.
You know, so yeah, but 2021, it's been uneventful so far for me.
That's it for me as well. That's a great thing.
Yeah, so, but you know.
Because my 2020 ended guns are blazing.
Girl, my 2020 ended.
My 2020 with gunshots and houses burning. I'm just like, well, how did this happen?
My 2020, I was like flipped on the upside down world or whatever they call it on Stranger Things. But yeah, but 2021, it's been good so far. But yeah, like, you know, we still dealing with this pandemic, and we were going to take like a couple of weeks ago, right?
We were, but me and Chris were so funny acting. So we'll be ready to tape, but then the day of, neither one of us will say, we still talk to each other today, though. That'd be the weird part about it. We still talk to each other the whole day. Like, it'd be like, girl, you seen this? Yeah, I seen this. Hey, girl. And nobody just mentions that we were supposed to tape.
But then plus, I brought in the New Year's in a restaurant that was more crowded than I would have liked to.
Oh, yeah, she did some quarantine.
Yeah, so I wanted to quarantine and be good, you know.
And so it's just, you know. Honestly, y'all, we have to let the shows kind of bulk up because, like, Real Housewives of Potomac reunion was happening, but nothing really else was on TV.
Yeah, well, they started the Atlanta one.
Oh yeah, no.
But you know, it's always the first couple of episodes is them like getting the season together, and you know, so. But yeah, but this is us started back up, and you know,
we back.
I've been Roku and chilling, like I've been catching up on everything, you know, so. But as you all heard, we brought the show in with the Wayans Brothers. The Wayans Brothers is a sitcom that ran 5 seasons from 95 to 99 on the WB network. It stars Sean Wayans as Sean Williams. So for all y'all that's always talking about, so why ain't he naming the show and then the character name?
They do that to Eve. I've never heard them say it up until it got to Eve. It was like, why is Eve named? Why is the show named Eve and her name is Shelley? And I'm like, Jamie Foxx show his name is Jamie King.
And everybody started going inside.
Yeah, Steve Harvey show his name is Steve Hightower. Yeah. The Wayans are actually the Williams on the show. Like people do that all the time.
Yeah,
because they be wanting their like. I watched this interview with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith. I watched this interview with Will Smith. And they were like, tie your name to it because it will always be your name to it. Just like if you look at it's Issa D on the show, but she's Issa Rae in real life.
But so, she said she should have thought of another name because she was like, everybody always
thinks she's Issa.
Yeah.
But they said they was like, for some strange reason that like it does something in people's mind when. Which I get, which you and like Martin. But was Martin? What was
Martin Payne?
Martin, it was Payne.
So, but yeah, you got Sean Wayans is Sean Williams. He's the older brother, owns the newsstand. He's more responsible and the ladies' man. Marlon Wayans plays Marlon Williams, who's the younger brother who also works at the newsstand, and he becomes an aspiring actor as the show goes on, and he's more so dim-witted and. He don't be getting no play. And they live together. You have John Witherspoon as John Pops Williams. So they were just all keeping their names. He's the owner of Pop's Joint Restaurant. And he's tacky. And his food is suspect. Then you have Anna Marie Horsford, who came in the second season and ended out the show with them as Dee Baxter. She's a security guard for the Nehemiah building in which the newsstand and the restaurant is in. And she lives with her mother. They always clown her for never having a man. But she always comes through for them. Then just some other people that have been on the show. Leela Rashawn, she was in season 1 as Lisa, Sean's girlfriend.
Come on, bad bitch, Leela, legend Rashawn, as I like to call her.
Paula J. Parker was in season 2 was Monique, and she was a shopkeeper. Janet Dubois. Yep. Janet Dubois was in season 3 and season 4 as their grandmother, their maternal grandmother.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and she didn't get along with Pops. Phil Lewis from season 2 to the end of the show. He played TC, and that's like they tacky con artist friend. And then you got Jermaine Hopkins, and y'all know Jermaine Hopkins because he the chubby little fat kid from Lean on Me. You smoke crack, don't you? But if you want to jump, then do it expeditiously. He's a little fat kid. He came in season 3 to the end of the show, and he plays their friend Dupree, and he's just pretty much there. But yeah, I think the Wayans, they kind of helped the WB get on their feet. Much like how in Living Color and Martin and Living Single.
You think so? That was the first of the shows?
I think like they kind of, even if it wasn't the first, I think they kind of.
I know they were one of a lot of shows on WB and UPN, a lot of black shows started off on like major networks. Do we consider ABC in a major network? They're major, yeah. I think the Wayans just started right up on the WB. Yeah, because like I think it was like the Wayans and Steve Harvey, but like Sister.
Yeah, that started off on NBC.
The Hughleys.
That was on UPN.
No, the Hughleys started off on ABC.
Yeah, that was ABC, but they went to UPN. Yeah.
And then who else? It's a slew of them that had their like first season.
I think The Smart Guy.
Clueless was another one that was on ABC that went to UPN.
Yeah.
I used to love Clueless.
But I think like the Wayans was like one of their first original shows. I think they kind of like helped the network.
And they were a big name. Their family is a big name.
Yeah, but that's why it was just so terrible how they just canceled the show. They didn't even give them a proper send off. And like the Wayans used to be my favorite show when I was younger. I think it came on Thursday nights.
Can I tell you a secret?
I don't remember what.
I didn't really watch. I watched the Wayans enough to know, but I didn't watch the Wayans.
Oh no, every Thursday I watched the Wayans, and when I found out that it got canceled, like I felt away. I was with Sean in Scary Movie when he was stabbing old boy. Yeah. What they did to the Wayans, I was like, yes, Sean, because that was messed up how they did y'all. Like we didn't get to see their mama. Marlon didn't get to have his acting career. Like, we didn't get to see none of that. I felt away.
My love going bang, bang, bang.
No, I really felt away. But the Wayans, like...
Shout out. I'm sorry. Shout out to Pops and his woman. The Tiptones.
Yeah.
Because they had that trans, the one became a trans woman. Shout out to them. Because they really did.
Send my love. Jungle Fever. That's one of my favorite episodes.
I need to honestly watch the Wayans from beginning to end because it's not that I didn't watch it. It's like I cut it. Did it come on last or what was the lineup for them?
I don't remember their exact lineup, but I know they also came on the night with that show Happily Ever After.
Oh, Hit the Road, Jack.
Yeah.
But they came on. It must have been Sister and Steve Harvey on that lineup.
I don't remember. I think like For Your Love.
So they was 9 o'clock. They must have been 9 o'clock.
Girl, I don't remember.
But yeah, so I watched the Wayans, but I wasn't like into the Wayans.
I got my favorite episodes.
What
but
is it?
they be playing it on MTV, but I'm glad. So I found out that it's on HBO Max because MTV be like, they stay playing that one episode when they had a country Christmas when Kim Wayans is on the show.
Kim Wayans, when she come down the stairs and that out, Kim Wayans.
She was on 2 episodes.
Oh, that Kim Wayans and that black episode is one of my favorites though.
Yeah, that one is a good one. But they always playing the country Christmas one when they go to her farm and they trying to help her raise money for the farm. But my favorite episodes would be the episode where Sean's girl ends up liking Marlon, and Sean's girlfriend is played by Monica Calhoun, and she ended up dumping Sean for Marlon. And then the episode where Bernie Mac plays Shank, and he tries to threaten Marlon into marrying his sister, who's played by Melissa DeSosa, and she played in The Best Man. Yeah. The Jerry Springer episode.
I do like the Jerry Springer episode.
The Tiptones episode, and the episode when Marlon does stand-up comedy. Let's make it hot.
I like that one too.
Yeah. And then like it's just like I said, this is my favorite show when I was younger. So it's like a bunch of other episodes, like the one when Sean is dating Garcelle Beauvoir and she turns out to be crazy. I think that's like in the second season. The one where they did like the Misery parody with Kim, what's her name? Not Kim Coles, not Kim. The one who they say look like Jack A.
Kim Whitley.
Kim Whitley, yeah, that episode is funny. The one when Pops turns 50. and he in the club.
That did like that one.
Yeah. But no, like, but I know how you always talk about me, how I like the PSAs.
She do Chrissy love. Be like, what's your favorite episode? The one where the girl died of cancer. It's like that. What? It was still funny. They found a way to make cancer funny. It's like, no, it's not funny. She died of cancer.
The teachable moment episodes, but I will say that their teachable moment episode, I did not like their teachable.
What was that
moment
teachable
episode.
one?
It's where Marlon, he's hanging out with this other actor who like has a reputation for being a partier, and he gets Marlon to smoking weed, and Marlon goes into like an audition, but the way they got Marlon acting isn't somebody who would smoke weed. They got him acting like he
Papa Molly
did crack or something.
Marlon smoking weed, acting like Pookie.
Yeah, like it was just a lot. And because I just happened to watch that episode like last year sometime, I was like, I don't like this episode. I never really cared for the episode, but it was just like, he smoked weed, y'all. It's not gonna kill him. And it's like Sean was like, I heard about your audition. You see why I told you not to hang out with those guys? Because they have the reputation for partying. And Marlon was like, you right, Sean. That stuff will mess up my career. I'm like, it was only weed.
You hit the play.
It was only weed.
Maybe they had it laced.
That would have been better if it would have been like he passed out at the audition. They took him to the hospital and found out that they had laced his stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that would have probably been better.
but it was like, it just didn't make sense because I was just like, y'all, it's only weed. So, but yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out to the Wayans anyway, because the Wayans in general has provided. It's certain families that have done a lot for entertainment. The Jacksons and the Wayans are literally 1 and 2, depending on who you like.
Yeah, I would say especially like for Black families.
Yeah,
So that's why like it's very. I don't really care for when people be trying to throw up nepotism in the Wayans. You know, when it comes to the Wayans, because it's like
they talented though.
Yeah, and white people do it all the time in the industry.
White people do it all the time, and the Wayans they're actually talented people, and giving your people opportunities to write. Because a lot of times, if you watch any Wayans production, and that goes down to that goes to the beginning of In Living Color. In Living Color, My Wife and My Kids, the Wayans brothers, their movies. It's been a couple of shows that Damon Wayans had that got canceled in the 90s. If you look in like the credits, you will see other family members' names. Mm-hmm. They literally gave their family an opportunity to write, to direct, to be what's the people, what do they call them that like keep the food and
the stage, what's it called?
God, what's the word? It's an official word.
Basically, it was no reason for you not to be successful in the Wayans.
Yeah, or not have a job.
Yeah,
you was gonna have a job because they would have got you a job. It takes a lot to make movies. It takes a lot to make TV shows. Damn it, what is the name? It's not a personal assistant either. But anyways, it takes a lot to make
craft services.
Yeah, like those people. It takes a lot to make stuff, and the fact that they go out of their way to make sure they're second generation and everybody can have a job is a beautiful thing, because and not even all the Wayans want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah,
Craig Wayans, I think I might have seen him maybe once on My Wife and My Kids.
Craig, he they used to have that show on BET where
I did see that was that second generation show,
which they canceled without letting nobody. It was just like.
But BET is such a never mind. Anyways, if you look alike, Craig is a nephew to Sean and Marlon and them, and his he's the son of one of their sisters. But if you look into the credits, Craig Wayans' name is up and through them credits a lot of the time. If you look through the credits of the Wayans, you're gonna see a bunch of Wayans in it.
Kim, like I know Kim was working on My Wife and Kids.
Yeah, she stayed writing. It's like, was Kim even on My Wife and My Kids?
No,
I don't think
she
so.
just
She was writing the hell out of them. She was on Marlon's show.
Yeah, she was on,
and she wrote for Marlon. Yeah.
Their older sisters, their other sisters that aren't in front of the camera, they be doing
it's
stuff.
10 of them. I think it's 10 of them, but 5 of them are famous, or 5 of them are known, which is Kenan, Damon, Sean, Marlon, and Kim. And then they have 5 other siblings. They also work behind the scenes in Hollywood. Yeah. And pretty much their whole second generation nieces and nephews and kids all kind of still do stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think Damon Wayans Jr. is probably the most recognizable one out of that second crew. And then the second person might be Damian Wayans.
Yeah.
And then, but still, all of them,
Yeah.
they do a good job. They did a good job with that family.
Yeah. So shout out to the Wayans.
Yeah, and Living Color is still what's up. I still be, every time I see a clip, I still cackle.
Still love I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That's like,
Still
that
funny.
was like my favorite.
I think Keenan wrote for Delirious, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So just a top
Hollywood
tier.
Shuffle.
Hollywood Shuffle is so good too. I watched Hollywood Shuffle maybe like 2 weeks ago.
I need to watch it. I've been saying I was gonna watch that again.
Because their comedy be so ridiculous. But you know my favorite Wayans production? Now that I think about it, it might be my favorite. A Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah, that was when Keenan really.
Keenan
young girl,
Keenan got bald.
I remember
Keenan put that shaft jacket on, and I remember.
Cause you know, in Living Color, he had like that Sherman Hemsley type hair. Where
Yeah.
it's like you could tell he was bald in the center.
And then when he just decided to let it go, it was just
Cause
like.
it was like when Low Down Dirty Shame first came on, it was like he had like the deep cut, the low.
No, he
cut.
had, it was really low.
Yeah, but it was just kind of like.
You see something. You saw it. You saw where he might have been going.
I see where you going.
And him going bald made him so much younger than what he was on In Living Color.
It just made I was a little girl like, damn, Keenan fine.
And then it's like the way he did it because he had like smoothed his head out, and then it's like they knew he was fine as fuck.
Damn, Dirty Shame, keep it alive.
And it was slow motion,
Yes.
like, and I got peaches.
Yeah.
Shining.
Yes.
This is like Luke and Laura. When Luke, I'm like, guys, get your life. Get your life. You fucking shame, peaches.
Yeah, it was. I started looking at him a little different.
I didn't watch that tonight because Jada Pinkett, shout out to Jada Pinkett Smith. Her in A Low Down Dirty Shame was a top tier performance.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's one of my best, like, that's still, you can tell Jada still was real ratchet in the street too because she played it too well.
Premature. Peaches.
You know how he feel about his hair. She was so funny. Peaches was giving them hell, little ass. But yeah. Shout out to the way. They gave a lot of people, if you ever listen to a lot of people's stories in the late 80s to early 90s, they gave so many people so many chances. We have Jamie Foxx, Jim Carrey, Carrie Ann Nanaba, which is the woman who.
Girl, we talked about this on Living Color.
Oh yeah, it's like they gave all these ridiculous. They gave everybody an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like they really ate SNL right the hell up.
Yeah.
So shout out to them because people.
The first family in entertainment.
The first, well, I won't say entertainment. I might get up to the Jacksons.
I
would say the first family of Hollywood, the first black family of Hollywood, though.
Okay, I can see that. Okay.
I would give the Jacksons entertainment, though.
But I would just say the Wayans because they've been able to hold on to their position, whereas like the Jacksons was just kind of like the Jacksons, then Michael, then Janet, or whatever. And then it's like after that, it's just kind of like
LaToya. Y'all not gonna disrespect LaToya. LaToya is great for reality TV.
yeah.
I mean, first family entertainment, the first people who did it. Because if you talk to, and the thing about Marlon Wayans, he's actually named after Marlon Jackson.
Oh, okay.
They'll say they self though. But I mean, Marlon has said that. Like when Joe died, he had like this beautiful message about how they martyred their family off the Jacksons. And how his namesake is Marlon.
I'll give it to him, but the Wayans.
How did they do Marlon off Marlon Jackson? All the Jacksons, and you chose Marlon and name Marlon off. Like
it must have been something. She must have saw a performance or something. Every time
he say that, I just be like, so was Michael not available?
She must have. They must have saw that it's torture video. It was like Marlon ain't on here. Michael not on this video. Marlon my next favorites.
I've been thinking about that all. Like every time he mentions that, I just be like, so how do we end up with Marlon though? So you just skip over.
She ran out of names by the time.
No, but you skip over Jackie. There's Jermaine. There is literally Tito. There is Mike. Hell, there's Randy.
No. Randy is younger than me.
We don't count Randy.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to the beginning. There is Jackie. There is Tito. There is Jermaine. There is Michael.
Marlon's spoke to her.
That's not crazy to you that she chose Marlon?
Marlon, it was just some Marlon spoke to
I think
her.
about that shit he posts that shit like it makes sense. Like, yeah, my namesake. Why is Marlon your namesake? It was some of the other Jacksons.
Marlon spoke to her.
Michael wasn't available?
Hey, I don't know.
This shit really be throwing me off that Marlon is really named off Marlon Jackson. That was really her fave.
And that's what's up.
It is.
Shout out to Marlon, because Marlon don't get acknowledged.
Shout out to Marlon.
Jackson.
Okay. That always throws me off.
Marlon be minding his own business. When it's time to perform, Marlon is
Show
there.
up. Mind his business.
He go back to, I think he live in Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah, they live in Atlanta.
Yeah, him and his wife. He been with his wife for like 30, 40 years.
Been with her since the 70s.
Yeah, y'all never heard nothing about them.
My name is, they got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy.
Yeah. Shout out to Marlon.
Shout out to Marlon, but I always, every time he mentions that, I die.
Disrespect Marlon.
I know, because it was just so random. Y'all named after Marlon Jackson. Why?
You're not gonna disrespect Marlon.
Well, Jackie was fine. Like, why?
Shoot.
Marlon was her favorite. That is funny. So shout out. But yeah, they still the first, for me, first family of comedy, first family of Hollywood. I would definitely give to the Wayans.
Definitely.
Because it is what it is. But shout out to the Wayans, shout out to the Jacksons. I was just watching the Clark sisters again the other day, and it's just so funny how the Jacksons were like the martyr to everybody. Like they like the Jacksons, she like our Michael, and it's just like, wow, yo.
Okay, so you are right. No disrespect to the Jacksons, they are the first family of entertainment.
Yeah, first black family, I guess, because y'all like to talk about the Osbournes and stuff. They the first. If we gotta do it like that, they the first black family of entertainment. Shout out to them niggas. Them niggas was really out here.
2100
Jackson Street. And y'all know how I feel about Janet Jackson.
We're
always home. That torture video was so terrible on pop-up video.
It was torture to my eyes.
That pop-up video. And no, pop-up video just didn't even make it no better. Thank Michael.
Like every...
they didn't have to do it every single time. We got it.
They let you know as a video started, like, Michael didn't make this video shoot. He just said he wasn't gonna come. And then every time they was supposed to be showing Michael fake Michael.
Michael fake again. It's like, why do y'all do this? And they used to love to play Blame It on a Boogie was another one that was always on pop-up video.
I can't help myself.
Hey, the songs I really like from that album anyway, they didn't make no videos for. That pissed me off because I love Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah, I like Heartbreak Hotel and let me show you.
Let me show you the way to go.
Girl, how we end up talking about the Jacksons?
Shout
out to the Wayans.
Shout out to the Wayans.
So yeah. So, I've been on my Roku and chilling binge.
Roku and relax.
Roku and relax, yeah. Roku and relax. So I watched Schitt's Creek after you've been raving about it. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed their mother.
Mora. Her name was Myra, right?
Yeah,
but she's Mora. Cause you look on edit out that accent that was so stupid anyway. I loved her.
And the fact that she stayed harassing, was it Jocelyn? Is her name? Like it was like, leave her alone.
Jocelyn deserved better.
She did.
No, that time it was an episode where she wanted to. Apparently the kids. So Schitt's Creek is about a family who had buku money, but apparently their investor or their accountant ran off with all their money, and the dad. Eugene Levy. Mm-hmm. Eugene Levy's the dad. Google him. He's literally, I think he's in American Pie. He's been in a lot of comedies.
And he's in all those parody type movies.
Yeah. Eugene, what's his name? David Rose. David Rose played a practical joke on his son by buying a city called Schitt's Creek. He played the joke, but nobody realized that he actually bought the town. So he owns this town. So when they lose all of their money, he basically, the only thing they will let him keep is this town he owns called Schitt's Creek that's in the middle of East Jesus Nowhere, and it's country and it's little, and they have to move there. So they spend, I think the show maybe is 5 seasons. They spend 4 to 5 years in this bullshit town. Mm-hmm. it's hilarious the whole time.
Yes, because Maura constantly talks about how she doesn't like it.
She hates them.
Even though she becomes a city council.
Yeah,
person,
she hates the city.
Like,
Girl, in that episode with Jocelyn, when she needed Jocelyn's kitchen to cook, because they're living in a motel, she needs Jocelyn's kitchen to cook. Jocelyn basically does not want her in the kitchen, saying, found all these reasons why she can't cook at her house. Finally, when she agrees to it, Morva tells her, can you clean your kitchen too? And she, as Moore was walking off, Jocelyn's like, I cleaned it this morning.
No, I like the episode when they have that not a choir or whatever, and when Moira, because she's like, oh yeah, I was in Broadway and I was in these plays and I can sing. And so when it comes time for her to sing, and she's just like, she sings some song and everybody's just looking like, what the hell?
Girl, when the daughter did her audition, but it was like very Britney Spears. What was it, Alexis?
Yeah.
My name's Alexis. It was just such a stupid performance. I live for her.
But Alexis's random stories about like, yeah, because you know.
No, Alexis had a whole life. Alexis, like, you know when I was in like that South African jungle? It's like, wait, what?
The fact that they went to her graduation and she didn't even graduate.
Girl, that time I was held captive in India.
Yeah, it was just like.
And then finally he was like, you were 16. Like, and then it's just like you realize, it's like, but why were you a child doing all this?
But how did y'all not know what she was doing?
Like, she had a whole passport. And then even when her and David had their moment in the car, he was like, I was the one worried about you every time you were like, I didn't know if you were like on a boat stranded or like in a jail. And she's like, thank you, David. It's like, why were you always in situations, Alexis? Let's unpack that. Schitt's Creek and it ended so cute. Like they ended that show so perfect, like in a perfect little bow. And the thing is, the only reason I started watching Schitt's Creek because I'm one of those people who do watch white award shows. Chrissy does not. I have to update her while I watch them. If it's not a nigga show, she's not here. Yeah, I've always, since I've been a kid, I watched all the award shows, black, white, whatever. So this last award season, they literally took home all the comedy awards. Best actress, lead male. What's the one that, if you're not the lead? Supporting actress, supporting male, best episode, best written episode. They literally, all the major awards that you get, they took them home. They swept the comedy section. So bad that Daniel Levy, which was the son on the show, he was like, the internet is about to switch on us. Because they were just winning too much. And he was just like, damn, the internet, like by the time they got their fourth award, he was like, damn, the internet about to switch on us. Like,
and we ended it.
Yeah, like the internet's about to, it's over for us now. But yeah, so it was just, I started binging after that. And plus he gave a shout out to Insecure and Issa Rae, saying how Insecure was one of the best comedy shows and such a well-written show. And I thought that was like super nice because it's something about like him watching it and knowing like, nah, I mean, we won this award and they did deserve it. Don't get it twisted. But
it's like, don't sleep on Insecure. Yeah. They should have been.
Yeah, they should have been getting nominations minimum.
Not just this year.
Yeah. And so he shouted it out, and Issa like thanked him for shouting the show out. So it's just, that Schitt's Creek was so. If you like the Friends and The Office and stuff, if you're one of them people, like I go to bed to white comedies. That's my thing. Mm-hmm. So when they took Friends off Netflix, I moved back to The Office. Then they took Office off. So then I went back to, I think I went to Parks and Rec because that was on Peacock. And then I double back. Now I go to bed to Schitt's Creek and, good vibes. Great show. Great show, hilarious. It was taped in Canada, and they have a documentary because I didn't watch it. Of course, like I said, they won the awards, and then I binged it on Netflix. But they actually have a documentary about their last season, and it was a really good show. That was a really good look.
Yeah, and everything's being moved over to Peacock and stuff now.
Peacock can go to hell. Them white people told me Peacock can go to hell.
Well, look. At least we know Friends is on HBO Max. So if you want to watch Friends, but The Office, you are going to have to get Peacock to see The Office.
Yeah, The Office. So apparently, I just read an article maybe 2 days ago. The Office was the #1 streamed show, like over all the shows, and it was like their number was in the billions. So I get what Peacock is trying to do. They're trying to bring people to their streaming service.
My thing is like, do you even really need a streaming service? You're NBC, like
They did a streaming service and it's $5. So this is what they do. You can watch seasons 1 and 2 of The Office for free. When you get to season 3, you can't. And then what they also did, they offered extended episodes of everything. So like whatever you know how TV shows cut out stuff.
Yeah.
So they have these super fan episodes. So they put out all the stocks for Peacock.
The only thing I want to see on Peacock is all the movies the made for TV movies that they used to do back.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
honestly, when it comes to channels like ABC, CBS, all them streaming services, for me, I would prefer if they did all the shows that got canceled after a season or 2, because nobody gives the show, like if it's been a season or 2, nobody gives those type of shows. They don't put those type of shows on platforms, which I get it because you have to pay to get those type of shows. But any show that was on your network that got canceled in their first, second, or third season, put them on. And then any made for TV movies y'all had, which y'all had a lot in the 90s, yes. Also, I would put the stories on. I would put all the seasons of the stories and make people start watching from episode
like
1.
50 seasons.
100 seasons, 100 seasons, 100 episodes per season. Listen, one thing that don't ever get cut off is the stories, okay? They will take the stories at the end of the day nowhere.
Right.
Listen, I would be like, if I was NBC, Passions would be on there. Young and the Restless
Days
was.
of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives was NBC.
I think so.
What's the one with the camera? Bold and Beautiful? What was that?
Girl,
I thought Bold and Beautiful was either NBC or CBS. But that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Any show from 100 years ago that we ever had will be on my streaming service.
Yeah.
I would have left Netflix. And let me tell y'all something. If you search Netflix, if you search The Office, search The Office space Peacock on Twitter, no white people are cussing them out.
Well, get them, y'all.
Listen, I delve into white Twitter for stuff I like. You remember that day with Kelly Ripa? I was just like, thank you, Margaret.
See, this is the real fight y'all should be fighting. What y'all was doing at Capitol Hill, I don't know
about that. But the real fight is getting the Office back on Netflix.
This is the real fight.
And truth be told, I keep it a buck, is getting Friends back on Netflix as well. I'm fighting for the people.
Storm and BC. Let me stop this play.
Storm and BC. Never mind.
I'm just kidding. I don't.
No, but y'all don't know how to direct y'all anger.
No, don't be hating on HBO Max. Like
HBO Max is fine, but then that was the thing about HBO Max. Like how HBO Max got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and that's not on Peacock.
HBO Max got so much stuff. Like I'm so overwhelmed.
No,
like,
I'm trying to figure out the avenues of how people choose what they're gonna get, because then the second Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show, that's new version, that's gonna be on Peacock. So how HBO Max got it?
I don't know.
But then if they have a contract, please believe in 2026. Because that's what happened with The Office. They've been saying for 2 years how The Office is about to be off Netflix.
Yeah.
And even the actors of The Office begged for it not to be off Netflix.
Oh, okay. You know, what's the face? The Pam and Angela.
Mm-hmm. They got a podcast.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I love Angela. Is so.
She's hilarious.
Angela's like, you're wearing orange. That's a whore color. Like Angela, the way Angela thought everybody was terrible. I mean,
but she was sleeping with.
Yeah, she was like, you know, Pam, the Office whore, and it's just like, I mean, because you dress so provocative, but she had like a button up on. It was just Angela was so funny. I mean, you dress like a whore. What?
Angela and Michael Scott are probably like my favorite characters.
Okay, who's my favorite on The Office? Michael is, because Michael was just so ridiculous.
He was.
And the white shrew.
Yeah,
Mike taught me.
I wish like they could get together or something, do like a special pandemic episode of The Office to see like how they're all like. And
even how The Office ended was really good, because then everybody kind of moved on. But Yeah, The Office had a cute wrap up too, but is it okay? So it might be Michael Scott, Dwight Schrute, and Angela might be my top three. But pairwise, I liked Jim and Pam, but only when they was really effing with Dwight. Cause that one day they read down everything Jim did, and he was like, "God, it sounds so bad." Cause it was just like that time you put a staple. I was like, "Wait, what?" And then the time you moved his desk into the bathroom, the time you put his phone in Jell-O, the one time you made him get on the roof because you said somebody was committing suicide. It was like, wait. And he was like, I mean, it sounds a lot when you name it back to back. It's like, that goddamn Jim and the white used to be funny.
But I would also like, is it Ryan and what was Mindy?
Kelly?
They played off.
I know when she reported him to HR about not returning her phone calls. Bitch, I fell out. She's like, I mean, I don't understand why you won't return phone calls. And everybody's like, Kelly, you can't use this for personal reasons. Like, why are you reporting him to HR? Like, Kelly was so stupid about Ryan. I mean, I just don't understand why you won't return my phone calls. Kelly, that's not a reason you make a...
And he got her to break up with that one dude, only for him to just be like, but I don't like you.
He was so damn funny. And the fact that they really kept... The fact that when he became the boss, he became a cokehead and ended up a temp again. It was just like, what is going on? He really... Because you remember what was happening? Because I don't know. I didn't watch The Office when it actually aired. But I'm assuming that was the time where, like, the internet and social media was becoming a thing. So then that's when he took the sales virtual, essentially. And so he became one of the big bosses in New York, but then was like a cokehead and then lost everything. It's just like,
oh my God.
The Office was such a stupid damn show. And like when they said Oscar was gay, and then Michael like basically, oh my God, Michael was so terrible.
Or what's the weird guy who
Did he go to jail at the end?
No, not him. The one who Michael Scott said was like a murderer or something. The HR person.
Oh yeah, he hated him. I can't think of his name. Toby. He hated Toby.
For no reason.
No, but when Toby came back, it's like, haha, that'd be funny if Toby came back. Y'all are so stupid. No, he's back. What?
He didn't die. Like
he hated Toby. Toby did nothing to him. Toby's such a buzzkill. He hated Toby so much. And then like Toby kept trying to push plays to Pam, and Pam was just like ignoring him. He's like, okay. When he found out that Jim and Pam was together before everybody, and then sent out that memo about work affection, it was just like, and then Pam told me, was this your cute way of telling everybody that me and Jim were together? And he's like, yeah. Oh, let me pay my $5 for Peacock. Actually, now that I'm reliving it, Peacock might be on it. So let me get it, because I do want to see the super episodes. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, y'all must have me, Peacock. Y'all want super? I get an extra cackle? Girl, that shit. I'm sorry, Office is funny as hell. I don't care what y'all say.
I wish I would have watched it during the time that it was on, but binging it on Netflix was a good time.
No, girl, because them niggas they could not stand they could not stand that damn job. Like, they really was around here on a paper company, and them niggas could not stand that. Ryan started the fire! And the fact that the white started that fire that one time just to see if everybody called protocol, it's like, so is it hot? Is the door hot? How can I get out? And then they threw the cat, but the cat was like, oh my God. Why is it a cat? Because they pulled a foul out, and it's like the cat's was like, that show was so damn stupid. That was a stupid ass. Yo, and then just Jim and Dwight were so funny to me, because Jim really was just Dwight was extra, but Jim used to eat him up. He was like, well, Dwight thinks today is Friday, so let's just roll with it all day. So what are you doing this weekend? Just they spent the whole day effing with Dwight. Like, girl.
Oh.
And the fact that old boy who was the accountant, what was
Stanley?
Stanley hated his job. This used to take me out.
The other one.
The white one.
Yeah.
And he really couldn't do no math. It was just like, how is he keeping his job?
Or when they played basketball against the facilities.
Let's get the guys down in the back, the guys who took out the paper. Yes. And Pam do call that Jim Larry Bird. Look at Larry Bird because he was trying to impress Pam. And then Pam was like, let's get you in the bathtub. And Jim looking stupid, like, did all that.
Or when they had them awards at Applebee's.
The Dundies! I love the Dundies!
Oh my gosh.
Yo, and then Michael Scott was just so terrible anyway. That day, he was just like, I like to wake up and smell bacon when I'm getting up. So every night I put bacon on my George Foreman grill. This morning, I forgot about it and stepped on the George Foreman grill. And then he called and asked Pam to pick him up. And she's like, I'm not picking you up, Michael.
I saw the episode with I just watched the episode recently when he was dating Pam Mama, but didn't realize how old she was until they got to the birthday dinner.
And then he really was disgusted. Ew. Michael Scott is such a hell on wheels on that show.
They diversity training.
Girl.
Everybody.
Yeah. Hey, you like to blow up things. It's like, wait, what?
Oh my God.
Michael Scott was such a terrible, like, I would love to work for Michael Scott because it's just that terrible. Because he's terrible, but their jobs seem easy as hell. And then he was just like, they used to have like movie Thursday where they spent the first hour watching a movie. And then Jan came in and was like, wait, what are y'all doing? Yeah, we watch movies on Thursdays. What? Girl,
and then when he went to their little conference and he told, like, because the workers were concerned about the company going under, and basically he called out this lavish plan and then got back to the room with the executives and was like, so what are we going to do? And he was like, well, my accountant Miguel can come up. And Miguel was like, what am I doing?
Michael Scott was giving them. Michael Scott made their job.
They was like, take the limo from him. He hurried up and got the white and Miguel.
Girl, when he went to New York, right, and he was like, I love like New York style pizza, and it was like sombrero. And it was like that, because it's just like the best thing about coming to this city is the pizza. I love New York pizza, and it really was sombrero, the one in the mall. I was just like, this is stupid. This is such a stupid show. Why am I here dying? Michael Scott was fun. Peacock, you might have me. I might have talked myself into buying it.
I don't know how Office got through that show, man.
You might. And if honestly, one thing I appreciate about The Office, I watch TV a lot, so I've been looking at the credits. If you look at the credits to The Office, Mindy Kaling, Ryan, what's Ryan's real name? Whatever Ryan's real name is. If you look at like the credits to that show, a lot of people who were on that show was writing and directing that show. Mm-hmm. So and The Office originally started off as a UK show. So there is
a UK version.
I heard people say don't watch it.
I tried to watch it because it was on Netflix too. I don't know if they took it.
It's still on Netflix.
Yeah, but I tried to watch it, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, but the original version of The Office is a UK version. But shout out to The Office. I might have just talked myself into
purchasing Peacock.
I did. I do want to relive that.
And before we move on real quick, I know it's your admission Insecure. Shout out to Insecure, even though I'm going to be sad that they're ending after season 5.
It's time.
But, if they could wrap it up on a good note,
What's a good note? How do you want Insecure to wrap up?
That it would be like, woo, the pandemic, and just forget all about Condola.
So Condola, we just act like it didn't happen.
we gotta act like
I got it.
And we just move on with our lives. Lawrence will be in San Francisco, and they trying to make it work. And then by the end of the season, he proposes to her.
And she moves too, because at the end of the day, what she doing, she can do anywhere. She's
Yeah.
trying to create something for the people, for her culture. That can happen in any city,
Yeah.
any place, anywhere. I would like that for her. I would like her to go to San Diego.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah, I would like her to even if they go back to LA later in life, like, you know, but I would like that for them for a time being. Because I feel like they'll be the type that end up back in LA at some point anyway.
Yeah. The only way to end it is for Issa and Lawrence to be together.
Yeah. And I don't know, because they only do like 10 episodes and it's only 19 minutes.
No. Not for... Oh, some of them episodes were short.
That feels short. They do feel short.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, I do want to see them, and I don't want them to put it on a fast pace where it's like, wedding!
Yeah.
I want them to do like a gradual thing where I think he's not going to take the job originally. I hope something, maybe he doesn't, okay.
If he doesn't take the job, are you factoring in condoling the baby?
No. Yeah, no, I am, but I still need something, like they're going to have to wrap that up. Either she keeps it or something happens.
Yeah.
Something happens. But what I would prefer is him to not take the job, keeps his job, but then he gets another opportunity, maybe right in LA, where it's pretty much the same job. What I can't even say LA. At the end of the day, I want him and Issa to be together. I don't want a baby to be in the picture at all, ever, no. And I didn't want Issa to end it with a baby. That's just too much. I wanted to end with them just like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, I would like Molly to have a happy ending too.
I would like Molly to have a happy ending. However, and when I say Molly have a happy ending, I don't even say in a relationship.
Yeah,
I want Molly to just
be happy with herself.
Fully.
I want the therapy to like really take effect into her.
It does not. Yeah. Molly's happiness to me isn't tied in with Andrew.
Yeah, or any man at that. Like. I want her to end on a happy note where she is good with herself. Whether it be, I mean, even if it is with the man, okay, but if not, I want her to be good.
Yeah. What is your ending for, what's Amanda Seale's character? Tiffany.
Just the baby. I mean, I guess it would be nice if we could see her also working through her postpartum. But it's also how much time are they going to devote to that, you know?
Kelly,
you know, Kelly, it would be funny if Kelly, like, ends that show married. Like, just randomly, like, y'all, like, she may be dating somebody during the show, and then just, like...
I feel like she would be the type that come out, like, I'm married and pregnant, what's up?
Yeah.
And y'all be like, okay.
We went to Mexico and got married. Like,
our baby's gonna be twins.
Right.
But that's not how it works, Kelly.
I would want some, like, seeing Kelly like that, it would...
Yeah, I want her to pop up with something random. But for me, I don't need to see Nathan this season. If they want to bring back Daniel to like shake up.
I want to see Daniel.
I'm going to tell you why though. Because I think I said this before. I don't know if it was, I feel like here at some point. What I would like is something happens where Issa, Daniel, and Lawrence are in the same room.
Yeah.
But the way Lawrence is looking at it, he seems too much into it. Issa's like, oh, hey, okay, nice to see you doing well. And not even that Daniel's trying to even push up on Issa. He's just like, oh, it's really good to see.
I want Daniel things to be working out for
with
him.
So they really they're having a conversation. And then like a hug happens. Like
they get that closure.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, hey. And then she even says I'm back with Lawrence.
Yeah.
But Lawrence can't hear it. Lawrence is just looking at them talking. So then he's feeling away. I would like Lawrence to get like his full, like I know he got closure in that one episode, but a bit of me needs to see them and be like, this isn't a threat to me.
Yeah.
Because anytime he see Daniel, he's gonna have a problem anyway. So I would like him just to be like going to get drinks. You turn around to the bar, you be like, what is this?
Yeah.
But you can't hear it, but it looks like a lot to you.
But they all talking and laughing and hugging each other.
And then but then it's like them having closure.
You
like
to sleep with him, you go home.
Well, you and your nigga get these drinks. Cause niggas be so extreme on your ass. Well, you and your nigga can have these drinks. It's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? I want it like that. Like he be like, oh, that's really good that y'all got back together. I hope it work out for you.
Yeah.
And she be like, and then he like, oh, yeah, my girl over there, and then Issa be like,
Yeah.
but Daniel don't know that's the conversation.
Yeah.
Not Daniel.
Lawrence.
Lawrence doesn't know that's the conversation, and he come back, give her the drinks for her and her nigga, because niggas be ridiculous. And then like he leave the club, and she's like, are you like what is
I
this?
thought that we were done with this.
And then it brings up, and then this is why I need Condola not to have that baby, because then I need her to bring up Condola, because she's still gonna have to get her grievances out, even though it was not his fault.
And even though she really set everything,
She set everything in motion.
Yeah.
She's still gonna need to get that out.
Because
So
she's still hurt by it.
yeah, so I'm gonna need her to be like, you had a whole baby, like
Yeah.
some weird shit that be like, what? I mean, I get it,
But I didn't have a baby by him, Lawrence. You know how she's talking.
Yeah.
I didn't have a baby by him, Lawrence.
And then they kind of get we kind of get closure on all of that, and they realize that they being real dumb. It's ridiculous.
Well, Lawrence would have to come to his senses with that. Like, okay, I was doing a lot. We've moved on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I will only want to see Daniel again. I need to see
Yeah, 'cause
Thug Yoda.
Of course, we gotta put Thug Yoda.
He
in
just
there.
gotta pop up somewhere in the
Yeah.
club. I don't know.
We could even. Would you want to see her, the white chick from the first season, her little work friend?
I would like to see her.
Can we like see what she's up to?
I would like to see Issa doing something within the community and need the help of We Got Y'all.
Yeah.
And then that brings back, and that even brings back I think she was Asian. What was the best friend from Awkward Black Girl? Cece, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because I would like to see her again, because I've been watching Awkward Black Girl again too, randomly, whatever. But I would like her to like need something, or We Got Y'all's doing something, and they know Issa does stuff within, and they go to Issa.
Yeah.
And then we can see the boss too. Like I want to see everybody.
Yeah.
And then the boss like, Issa, this is what I thought you should be doing originally. Like I'm very happy that like you.
I'm not surprised at all about what you're doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset about that either.
Yeah. So, but Insecure, look, y'all just need to make up for that last episode.
I'm gonna tell you something about Christy. Christy don't even watch that last season. I actually specifically watched the date episode because it's such a feel good episode to me. And that was happening like right when the pandemic was like, we first got into it and everybody was just on board. And that episode came on time. So randomly, I would watch that episode. When I called Christy, she's like, I can't even watch this season.
No, it wasn't the pandemic because we were already in the pandemic. It was when that George Floyd stuff. No, wasn't it when?
It was just a lot that happened. We was in the pandemic. Yeah. People really. That was still when we originally really people were shutting down their cities for real. And then
no, I think that was George Floyd because I remember Issa and was like, "Nah, I know y'all. I know the times.
It's sure. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Hopefully,
it was something about that episode and the timing of that episode that was just such a breath of fresh air. It's exactly what weirdly everybody needed.
Yeah, but shout out to when we were about to say they should grab that pen from Prentice. Look, but anyway, shout out to Insecure. Don't let Princess wrap up season 5. He could do an episode in the middle of it because he like going back and watching the other seasons. He always did the episode that set it up for the BS, and so yeah, you don't need that in your life. Y'all can't. No. Okay, just get your grievances out. So shout out to Insecure. So
wait, hold on. Sex and the City is coming back. Just want to throw that out. Saying Samantha.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out. I can't. I'm looking for the episode on Recovering Party Girls of how I said they could do the show without Samantha. It starts with the funeral and all the niggas she fucked. That's all I got. I'm gonna find that episode though. But anyway, so where are we at now on this?
So,
journey?
During Christmas, Sylvie's Love. Did Sylvie's Love come out during
Christmas Day?
Okay, yeah. And it was set in like the 1950s. Stars Tessa Thompson, and what's
Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yeah.
Kerry Washington's fine ass husband who used to play for the Raiders.
Yeah. And
shout out to you, Kerry.
Yeah, you did good, girl. But it's a love story. I mean, for what it was, I thought that it was a good movie. But I know people are used to Baby Boy, and they used to,
Apparently, they emulated it too.
Yeah, they girl. That set that showed them what a relationship was, but whatever. I digress. But it's just I felt that it was like a breath of fresh air. I would say, because those times back then, they weren't, I'm not going to say they were simpler in the sense of like not having technology and all that stuff, but they definitely weren't simpler for our people, because our people were dealing with some real shit like racism, also women, black women, and like we couldn't hold positions, stuff like that. So just the story of how Tessa Thompson's character, it's like my man or my career, and I can understand why back then for her career was way more bigger than having love, because like with her career it was hard for women to hold those positions. Even a part of the movie when they were contemplating about them moving to Detroit, and she's like, well, I have a job, but I'm gonna have to work my way up. And she was a producer by this time of a show. But it's like, she can't even come in at the same level. It's like she basically got to work herself back up to, what she's doing now. And I mean, like I said, it's not there's not really like a climax or anything to the story. It's just it just goes along with how their love develops, and, just the ending. I mean, how they end up together. But I mean, I thought that it was good, and it just showed what we were dealing with back during the 1950s, and trying to, as a woman, trying to balance a career, if you could even have a career, and then also balance like your love life.
I like it for what it was. Not my favorite love story.
Yeah.
I'll take Justice and Lucky over that. Yeah, I would take Justice and Lucky over that. I would take like Hood Rat Love Story. I would take Baby Boy over that. Baby Boy gave me like more of like. And not that I would take their love stories are all terrible.
It was just more entertaining. Like it was
the thing about me and Sylvie's love was it was just a lot of stuff I did not get that I think could have been cleaned up in the writing. I don't think it should have been 5 years that he was off and then came back and this baby's now 5. I think the baby could have been 1 or 2. I need to know, does the baby now know that that's her daddy? Yeah. It's just so many like unanswered questions for me.
What happens to the husband?
So now he cuts her off. Yeah. It's just a lot of questions I have about that. Yeah. And then at the end, it's like I didn't even get jazz and that type of music really never came back. Yeah. So how was he dealing with that? Like, so what was he writing in the background? Yeah. Was he playing instrument? Because if you can play an instrument, you can play an instrument. Yeah. That is what it is.
Did you get him a job at the network?
Yeah. Was he like scoring TV shows and movies? Because that was what I would think. But then she didn't have the power either, because she's still a black woman in that era. But she was still a woman in power. I didn't get the fullness that I needed, if that makes sense. But overall, I liked what it was giving. Yeah. So it wouldn't be like one of those love stories I watch over and over again. No. I'll watch Love and Basketball over and over. I'll watch Baby Boy over and over. And that was a ridiculous ass love story.
That's how I ended up watching Premature.
So let's just go ahead and move on. Okay. So Chrissy calls me.
Okay, no. First off, let me just tell you how I heard about this movie. Was because I did see people's grievances about Sylvie's love, and it was like a mixed crowd of like,
yeah, Sylvie's love got a very much a mixed crowd.
And so somebody was like, if you want to see a good love story, you should watch Premature on Hulu. And so I'm like,
so Chrissy has her Roku now.
So I'm Roku
and relaxing, and then I have Hulu. Have you been on Hulu?
Yeah.
I changed it so you have your name on there. You have not been on Hulu. I did, because you know what? My little brother anyway wasn't using the Hulu. Okay. And so I was like, so Kristen gave me her information to HBO Max. I clicked on Christy's name to figure out what I want to watch, but it was like a string of shows, and I already knew that Christy's best friend, shout out Shantara, her college bestie, hey, Candace, are all on it, and then she was like, yeah, Candace gave it to her niece. It was like a lot of people going through this one profile, right?
I don't know if you should be saying that on the feds.
They know.
The feds
know. The feds know. So, but the thing was, I would have let it live, but what I realized, we all watch the same show. So I'm looking, it's Friends, it's Insecure, it's Sex and the City on there. It's like everything that I would watch normally is already like active. And what I do know is you throw people off because you watching season 5 and I'm about to go to 1. And I need to watch 1, 2, and 3.
I'm about to be throwing everybody. I am watching. Do not watch.
You know what? Because me and my mom, before I got my own name on my brother's Netflix, me and my mom shared it. She started binging. We started binging. I started binging The Office first.
Oh,
I told her about The Office, so she started binging.
Yeah.
She called me talking about, I knocked her off. No, bitch, you knocked me off. I was watching it first. So
I'm on season 7.
I literally was on season 7, and she was knocking me off, and I couldn't remember because I'm like, I be falling asleep. Like I be needing to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I went to Christy's HBO Max page, I was just like, I can't do this. This is too much. So then I created my own profile, but I was laughing the whole time because I wanted Christy to sign in and see that I did it, but then I can't hold the secret. So I sent her a video like, look what I need.
I'm like, well, make yourself at home.
She said, make yourself at home. And I was like, a real friend. And then that's what I would do. So I look at my sister's name because she be about ready to throw me off.
Yeah.
She's like, we watch the same stuff. That is the problem. We need to watch different stuff. So we're always going to throw each other off.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Somebody was like, y'all need to watch Premature on Hulu. It's a good coming of age story. And so I was like, okay, well, let me watch it.
Because one thing about Christy, she going to watch.
So I started.
And Christy's a person who going to watch. But if she get like, and when I mean 2 into it, I mean 15 minutes into it, now she wants to know how it ends.
Yeah, I'm already here. I'm in too deep. It's the first 5 minutes. Look, in the first 5 minutes, if I cut it off in the first 5 minutes, then it's just not gonna get watched.
But that 5 minutes, 30 seconds, you got her for 2 hours.
So I watched this movie. And it's a coming of age story about this 17-year-old girl. It's in Harlem. Yeah, and she's dating this man. We never know his.
Okay.
We don't know his age, but we know he's a grown ass man.
He is.
And so I found the movie like entertaining because it was just kind of like, why are these kids so grown? Why?
The movie starts off with them being grown as hell.
Yeah, it was like, you see my friend over there? She want to talk to you. It was just like, oh, okay. Like, it was like, why are these girls so grown? And so she gets up with this older dude. And it goes from her, like, playing hard to get and not really entertaining him to then him seeing her at the laundromat. And then it's like, oh, well, can I take you on a date? And it's them walking around Central Park and getting ice cream. And then the next thing we know, she telling her mama, oh, I'm going out.
So, okay.
and she spends the night at this nigga's house. But then it's like, so they're going into this scene and she like kissing them all fast and stuff like that and taking their clothes
like
off.
a child.
Yeah. And then he's like, hold on 1 minute. Let me play something for you. And so he plays jazz. Yeah. Wasn't that song?
No, but it basically could have been. Hey.
Yeah. And so then it was like, dude, this girl's too young for you anyway, because she came with the little bralette where you got to pull over your head.
Did.
Yeah. And so, and it's just a lot. Like, they have shower sex. They having sex on top of the building and stuff like that. And so then I was kind of feeling a little uncomfortable because I was like, why? This is very sexual for this little 17-year-old girl. But, you know, it's just, it's a lot. But I just found the movie entertaining.
But no. So it's not even, the shower sex was too much for me. Also, her being on the roof and being so free about her nudity was off to me because I just remember being so most people were so insecure about their bodies at that age.
Cause it's like, look, I know how my body looks, but it's supposed to
look like, so it's just like get naked on the roof. Good morning.
be free.
It's like you teaching this 30-year-old.
Right.
30-year-old man how to be free with his nuts. This is weird. This is weird, says.
Right, and then it's like, so he had his own apartment, and they in there playing spades.
Because at first, how old do you think he was?
Well, see, I knew that he was.
Shout out to Brandy, because Chrissy told me to tell Brandy to watch it, and Brandy was mad. Brandy sat through it though. Of course she did.
Right. So I knew he was older. I don't know, because I was like, was he 19?
I thought, so when he said he went to college and left, I thought maybe like between 21 and 25. But
At first I was thinking like 19, 20.
But then he bought the beer. That's what, when he bought the beer, I knew he was at least 21.
But that was towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, but that's when it was like, oh, he's at least 21.
Yeah.
But I still think, but at 21, you don't have no apartment laid out like that.
But see, like, but then how he was stroking her. I was like, that is like the early 20s, mid 20s.
25.
When dudes start really coming into their own sexually.
No, but he put on, people start putting on music around that time.
But you know, back with.
But he put on jazz. Well, he liked jazz.
Yeah. Because I'm like, back when we were growing up, everybody was making.
They did the
like,
90s.
Early 2000s.
I don't see. Oh wait,
we still
not skip.
Yeah.
Let's not do that one.
Give
me a song. I was about to do bump and grind. Give me another one.
Yeah, we had confessions. You know, with can you handle it?
If I go there, baby, with you.
Oh, I hear you talking, baby. Yeah, so
like. Oh, Neo. I must be honest with you, baby. Come on.
Or his.
I gotta be honest.
Why don't you tell me what you want me? Yeah, so we were getting that music back in the day. So I can't, people stayed making playlists back in the day.
I got a couple.
Yeah, girl. So, but I should have known about a stroke. That was a man that pays attention to your body.
Premature was ridiculous to me as well, because I guess she was a free range kid. It's some kids that grow up where they're allowed as much freedom as possible.
Like in New York, they have
to go, and we talked about that. I think it's a bit of the busing and public transportation type of thing that grows. Yeah, it just grows them up super fast. So I'm not knocking that they were grown. I'm more knocking him realizing that she was a certain age when he realized her friends. It was just like, your friends are immature. And it's like, bitch, I'm immature.
I'm their age.
Yeah. That was the only thing. But
or even when she brought him around like her mom and stuff, and her mom was even like, well, how old are you? I'm like, so you only gonna question him about his age, but you ain't gonna, that's all you gonna do? So what was the purpose?
Yeah. Just
let him date in peace then. So, but I mean, I thought the movie was entertaining, and I liked the ending of it. Like, I like what the movie was, because you always say you like a day in the life movie.
I do. Yeah. Honestly, my favorite movies are very like House Party. Mm-hmm. Poetic Justice, pretty much a day in the life. I mean, it might be like 3 days, but essentially it's just like a weekend. Love Jones is one of my fave movies ever, because it makes me. I don't like the production of a lot of stuff. I like just simple. I wake up, I brush my teeth. Here's my story. Yeah. And then plus you said that you could tell that they were heavily influenced. No, they were definitely heavily influenced by Love Jones. I got that vibe with his jazz love, and it was something I can't think about it now. When they were talking, they were talking to his friends, and they were having that discussion. Yes. Okay, so they had a part in the movie where it gave me Darius's and Nina's first date. So when I looked up the people who wrote the movie, it gave me a feel that their favorite probably love story was Love Jones, because I got that vibe. Even her being at the train station and him showing up to the train station. And she was poetry. Yeah, she was into poetry, and it was just like on Love Jones, they don't meet at the train station. Darius is chasing the train, so it was just kind of like a full circle moment for me, where it's like, oh, she knows you came. Like, versus Love Jones, where like a year go by.
Yeah.
So yeah, whoever, if I ever had to write like a love story, mine would probably border along Love Jones and Poetic Justice. I know that doesn't make sense in your head, but it will. Yeah, I just felt, and then even his jazz love, like the fact that John Coltrane didn't get played, I used to watch Love Jones so much that when I did my, in college you got to do like these random classes. I did jazz, and I wrote my final paper on John Coltrane, but it was literally based off like, and it was that, and then plus it was like on the Cosby Show as well, so that's why I picked him.
Yeah. So, but shout out to Premature. I enjoyed it.
Brandy says hi. She just asked me to come to Prospect.
So I said, hey. But and then something else that we watched. Did you finish watching One Night in Miami?
I did.
Okay.
So, how did you feel about it? Because I called you and I told you I don't know much about Sam. I know Sam Cooke, but I don't know much about his personality. And who was the other? Who was the Jim Brown.
No, Aldous Hodge did a good job as Jim Brown. Like, he had, from what I've seen of Jim Brown, he had his mannerisms. Like, even the way he was talking and stuff, like, yeah, he did good.
I know Jim Brown as like actor Jim Brown later. I don't know too much. I know Jim Brown played for the Cleveland Browns. Was it Cleveland Browns?
I don't know.
I know
he played football.
Yeah, I know Jim Brown. I think he played for Cleveland, but I know Jim Brown.
My first introduction to Jim Brown was "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker."
Right. So like, yeah, that's what I'm like. My first thing is him as an actor, not him as an athlete. So I didn't know if everybody was doing a good job, but based on the fact that Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali were really on point, I called Chris. I'm like, nah.
Yeah,
if all fails,
Muhammad Ali, he did really.
Yeah, and they say he transformed his body in 3 months.
He looked good too. I was like, how old is he? I was like, let me Google him.
I'm not gonna say much, but
like, how old is this lad?
It made me want to sit on it. But yeah, so that's why when I texted Chrissy, I was just like, these two people, because I've seen enough footage about Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. They're doing an amazing job. I don't know about the other two in that space, but I'm pretty sure they're probably doing a good job. And apparently they are. My thing about One Night in Miami, you brought it up that it was a play, and I knew that, but then when you said it again, it's like, okay, it makes sense why it's more so set in this room. So sometimes I know y'all didn't like,
kind of like Ma Rainey when that was based off a play, and they were just in that one setting for the most part.
Yeah, and people sometimes forget that you have to know like when they're doing movies like that, because it comes across terrible as a movie, but they're blocking it based on the play. Yeah. Kerry Washington one was like that too.
The one where everybody be posting.
Yeah, and, she posted it and was like, "I see y'all tweets." She was just like, "How has 2020? How was 2020?" She posted her face and then she's like, "I really do love y'all." She laughed. She's like, "I hate that I love y'all this much. I be seeing y'all tweets," and I was just like,
"Now that was one movie I couldn't get into. I cut it off after."
I just get to the ends. I don't like, if you know me.
It was too monologue-y, I guess. For me.
I just go to the ends. Like the thought of not knowing if he was alive or dead, and then I just get to the end to figure out what happened.
Well, you better than me, because I was just like, I don't care.
No, I scared to it. He died, and they lied on him, and I was just like, well, that was okay. The better part would be him being alive, but whatever. Anyways, so yeah, you have to sometimes, like Ma Rainey too, because I had a friend,
Brandy.
Okay. Hey, Brandy. Brandy wasn't a fan of Ma Rainey, but again,
but she's not a fan of.
Okay, well, don't do my friend like that. I'm gonna tell her, because I tell her how you talk bad about her, and when she be telling me stuff, she tell me not to tell you, and I really hate that, because I love you and her both so much, but she don't even want you to know her thoughts and opinions.
Don't like nothing.
No, I don't like the way you doing my sis. Don't ever play my sis.
She don't like nothing. I don't like Insecure.
Brandy don't like that. You be like, oh my God, Brandy, I just watched this award winning. It sucked. Be like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Brandy is not a person if you really like something, don't tell Brandy you really like it. Don't tell Brandy about what you really like because she's not gonna like it anyway. So you just need to introduce her to stuff that she thinks
be watching it all. She watching all the
She sat through that whole Premature too. She was like, tell Chrissy I hated it. But the thing was, she sat through it. Like, she got off the phone. She's like, oh, I found it.
She was entertained though.
No, she got off the phone because she found it on Hulu. I found it. I'm gonna call you later. Then she sent a text like, how old is this nigga? I didn't hear nothing else from her until the movie was over. And she was like, that was terrible. I was like, Brandy. And then she said, don't tell. And she always preempts something. Don't tell Christy. I was like, I'm literally calling Christy right now. I'm actually about to put Christy on three-way.
But no, like One Night in Miami. My only thing about One Night in Miami, I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was.
I really did enjoy it for her. She shout out to Regina King. That was Regina King's first directorial debut. One thing I thoroughly enjoyed about it was she said that there were a lot of big hitter actors that didn't want to audition, that wanted the part but didn't want to audition. And she said she had a lot riding on it as being a director. So she wouldn't even like let you get the part if you did not audition.
Yeah, that they did really good at
and they really, like I told you, as far as it came to Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, it's two people I prefer as Malcolm X. It's the one who's on The Godfather, but he played Malcolm X before. The Godfather on Harlem Show on FX. I can't think of his name, but he's played.
Didn't he play Zaria's boyfriend on?
He did. It was him. I liked Denzel Washington, and there's a third person I liked as Malcolm X. And when it comes to Muhammad Ali,
not Peebo Bryson, Mario
Van Peebles, it might be him.
He played Malcolm X on.
And Ali, I think. Okay. And to Ali, I really did like Will Smith's interpretation of Ali. Yeah. Will Smith really
interpretation.
Yeah, no.
Whenever I think about Boomerang, interpretation.
Because if you look, there's a photo that was circulating maybe like a month ago when Jada's also in Muhammad Ali as
she's like his first wife.
She was pregnant with Willow at the time. And if you look at the picture of literally, she birthed Willow, she's holding Willow, Will Smith is sitting next to her. He transformed so much into Ali. Like, if you go too fast on like Twitter, you would think that's a picture of like Muhammad Ali with his kids. And then you look, you're like, oh wait, that's Jada. And then you have to remember that Jada was pregnant because he looked so much like Ali in a picture when Willow was born. But yeah, so that dude, but everybody she casted that was a phenomenal job. Everybody looked good. It was beautifully made. I would say that.
Yeah. My only thing is like, I know it was fictional, but I don't know what part was fictional. Is it that they really did have a night together where all of them were in a room, but nobody knows what was discussed? Or was it that they just never had that night, period? But they just, because I knew they hung around each other.
Yeah, because I started Googling names. So I've seen pictures of Ali and Malcolm, of course. Then you can find those pictures. And even the picture he took at that bar. Yeah. He did that picture, but the only person in that picture was Ali. There's literally that same picture of him behind the bar taking all three of them is, in real life, is him taking a picture of Ali. I know Sam Cooke and Ali hung out together. Yeah. And I know it might be Jim Brown and Ali I've seen. Yeah, I've never seen Cook and Ali, Cook and Malcolm in one picture.
That part had me cracking up when he was like, when Jim Brown said he can't be a part of Nation of Islam because I like white girls.
Let him know.
I was like, okay, Jim.
Let us know. Jim played. Jim threw that one girl off that balcony that one time, but
I may have heard about that.
Yeah, no, he definitely threw a bitch off a balcony. No, that's not. No,
it's not funny.
It's not funny, but Jim Brown got real like funny with this Trump shit. Yeah. It was like, Jim, your past ain't that good.
Yeah,
like you are the last person that really
let black people protect you.
Yeah, we do a good job. Let us hold you up. Yeah, and let Spike Lee keep putting you in random movies. Yeah, like Jim Brown, you threw that girl off the balcony. Then it was like weird. I don't think the girl died. And he was like, you didn't die. And then like double back on that girl.
I think I vaguely remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I got him mixed up with with another football player. What's Taylor?
OJ?
No. What's Taylor? The
I know what you're talking about. He was
with
in
the
Any Given
earring?
Sunday.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor.
I think it might be Lawrence Taylor, but he was in Any Given
Because
Sunday.
you know they all like are interchangeable sometimes because they all like are in the same movies.
Nah,
'Cause
Jim
it's the
Brown
other-
definitely tossed that girl off the balcony though.
Okay.
Second floor.
Okay, so it was him because I
And it was like something else. Jim Brown has a very interesting past.
Yeah, but I saw that he's been married to black women. But
I'm happy if that's your vice, that's your vice.
Yeah, it's just. But then he threw some.
He definitely threw somebody off a balcony. That ain't make that up.
That's like, man, them football players.
They be so great. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Football players and basketball players and rugby players, anybody who's in a sport, hockey, anybody who's in a sport that's extra boxing, extra physical.
MMA.
Them niggas ain't right. Wrestling, they not right.
Yeah.
I tell like the Chrissy all the time. I'm like, it's something about that adrenaline that they need that they'll take out on their spouse.
Taking them hits to the head and stuff.
Yeah, but neither here nor there. But one thing I liked about the One Night in Miami is the way it ended. Mm-hmm. It made me want them to delve into each person more. It was just like, because you seen Malcolm X house burn up, and it was just like,
the kids out the house. And to know it was done by The Nation too.
The Nation was so fucking. I hate the fucking name. I'm sorry. That y'all was on some real bullshit.
Yeah, and then Muhammad getting
things to The Nation. It's like you're watching how the Nation can ruin you and also build you up in a sense. And
but then like looking over his shoulder to see that that Malcolm wasn't there.
It was just The Nation really played in Malcolm's face.
Yeah. And then you did see Jim Brown being like, I was trying to film this movie and they told me if I can't be there to run scrimmages, this is my new career.
And that was smart of him though, because football was gone. Jim Brown was smart because football was going to end him no way. Like, football is not like a good sport to do a long time anyway. Yeah. It's literally life or death the whole entire time anyway. So for him to even deuce the way he deuced on his own terms is the stuff I like
what
anyway.
Did you think about the opening scene of him going to the house and like those white people be like, oh my gosh, Jim Brown, but then
reminding him he's a nigger?
Yeah.
I think that was life, and I think that's why I didn't like the fact that scene reminded me why him buddying up with Trump pissed me off. Mm-hmm. It was just like, you know about racism though. After a certain age, when you're a certain age, you live through everything. Like you live through civil rights.
But the thing is, that comes from certain black men feeling like they need to be on the same level as white men, and so it's just kind of like no.
But the bottom line is you still not.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that you think by being their friend or giving thumbs up or whatever the case might be that you're their level, you're not. At the end of the day, they're gonna tell you a nigga, OJ. You know what I mean? Me and Chrissy laugh about OJ all the time.
Dashiki in the church.
Listen, me and Chrissy talk about OJ and that dashiki often. Like, I don't know why. Randomly, me and Chrissy will be talking about something else, and it'd be like, you remember when OJ was down to that black church in that dashiki for no reason, trying to get the black vote?
Looking uncomfortable.
He hated them.
Looking uncomfortable.
But that was my problem with, like, I tweeted, I was like, I almost forgot Jim Brown was like this person based on like the later years. And I was like, I hate that, for his legacy essentially. Yeah. So I hope, everybody steps over that mess and, keep it moving, because at the end of the day, but that's how I treat black people now. White people essentially love what black people offer. But you still can't have a seat at their table. Yeah. You're fine as long as you're at the kiddie table. You're not fine when you can sit at their table equally. They don't want that. And that's still football right now. Football is so fucking racist.
That's just not in football. That's
life.
Yeah.
But football is so racist. Like, it's a reason why it's more white coaches and owners, but it's all you niggas on the field. Yeah. Giving your all too. Like, it's life or damn death.
And they still call the shots.
And they still calling the shots on your damn life. For pennies. The NFL is like one of the most underpaid leagues. And it's the most physical league. And that is the craziest thing to me. Football should be so top dollar.
Yeah.
Y'all putting them boys through all that, the men through all that for basically peanuts in comparison to other sports. Yeah.
But even like Sam Cooke, he died a tragic death.
You know what? So after I had passed
documentary
out
on Netflix, I don't know if you've seen it.
No,
but
passed out while I was watching last night. So I was Wayans Bros last night. And so after the movie finished, I was like, damn, all of a sudden it kicked in. It's like, I want to know more about everyone. Because that happens when I watch movies. But I watched Ali. I know a lot about Ali. I read the Malcolm X book. Of course, watched Spike Lee's version of Malcolm X. Just seen a whole bunch of stuff. I never watched the assassin. They have a Netflix documentary about Malcolm X. I can't think relearning Malcolm X. It's something, but they have it on Netflix. So I was like, well, let me watch Sam Cooke because I know a change is gonna come. And he has a second song I know, but I can't think of the name.
It's a faster song.
Yeah. I don't know much about algebra.
Don't know much about the G.
Yeah.
Don't know much about
some, but I know 1+1. Yeah, that song. And of course, I know a change is gonna come. But
they said Sam Cooke was messing with Aretha Franklin when she was like 14 years old.
I can believe it, but they used to do shit like that back in the day. But so I was watching The Two Killings of Sam Cooke. I fell asleep. Clearly, I'm gonna have to watch it this week. But I had got to maybe I got to like 30 minutes before I fell asleep on it because it was like 2 a.m. anyway. But I am gonna watch I'm gonna watch that documentary. Because I'm just interested now after watching it and seeing that a lot of people ended on the downfall. Like, I know Malcolm X died by the Nation of Islam. So when his house was burning down, it was kind of telling to how his life was about to go. And
but he knew.
Yeah, he knew. He knew. And when it came to Muhammad Ali, I watched Ali, so I know how that was going to transpire with him. And with Jim Brown, clearly Jim Brown still was like in movies up until like yesterday. So it was like Sam Cooke I didn't know much about outside of, I know there was like a documentary that said Lady You Shot Me because the lady at the front desk shot him. And he had time to say that and whatever the case might be. I knew how he died. I didn't know what transpired.
Bobby Womack married his
wife.
And
then that was what threw me off too because in that actual movie he was talking about the Womacks. Yeah. So Bobby, and this is like random tea, him and Bobby Womack were really good friends. Bobby Womack went to Sam Cooke's funeral with his widow in Sam Cooke's car and clothes. That's that, right? They end up getting married and being together. And then Bobby Womack ended up having an affair, with her daughter.
Oh, it was her daughter because I knew it was another family member. I thought it was like a sister or something.
Her daughter. So let's recap.
And if you don't know who Bobby Womack is, Bobby Womack sings "If You Think You're Lonely Now."
What we gonna do? Wait until tonight, girl. Come on. So recap. Bobby Womack and Sam Cooke were really good friends. Sam Cooke is murdered, and his murder is questionable apparently to a lot of people.
Yeah, because it seemed like a setup. Like he had some prostitute or some girl he met. She was working with the front desk lady, and then they concocted this scheme of like he was trying to rape her, or he said she stole his money.
She stole his stuff. Yeah. He came down asking for the girl. Yeah. The girl at the front desk basically was like, "What do you mean you're so aggressive?"
He's trying to
shot him and said it was self-defense.
Yeah, the front desk lady
and
shot him. Yeah.
When she shot him, he didn't die immediately. He said, "Lady, you shot me." So that's that. But his wife ends up with his BFF, good friends, Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack wears his suit, drives his car to the funeral. They go to the funeral. Bobby Womack and Sam Cooke's wife get married, and then along the lines, Bobby Womack messes with his stepdaughter.
Was that Sam Cooke's daughter?
I don't think it might have been Sam Cooke's daughter.
Okay.
Though. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but because I revisited this story like maybe last year. So, yeah, I guess I could. We be having our phones, so I guess we could Google stuff. Hold on, y'all. It's about to go silent because let me. You know what? So they was telling me about him. I think you told me about him from Boys in the Hood.
Oh yeah, he died like a weird death in prison. No, actually, his prison mate killed him, and it was a ritual, a satanic ritual.
Yeah, but he was there for a double homicide.
Yeah, because he
Weirdo.
like decided to start killing people like after Boys in the Hood. But you know, a lot of Boys in the Hood cast members end up getting killed.
But you know what? Because they got people from the hood though.
Yeah.
What's his name? Sam Cooke.
Oh, he was sexually abusing her 17-year-old stepdaughter, Linda Cook. She was Sam Cooke's daughter.
Oh, so it was sexual abuse. They weren't together. I mean, it's all. Let me dump back. That is sexual abuse because she's underage. But didn't they stay together?
No. He ended up marrying somebody else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, what else? Okay, so I stand
He just
corrected.
wanted all of Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, I stand corrected. It was Sam Cooke's daughter. She was underage, so it was always rape and abuse. But yeah, so he married Sam Cooke's wife and abused Sam Cooke's daughter. Essentially, is where we're at this point.
Yeah.
And then but I do like Womack and Womack though. Come. Hey, you remember if you got real love for me? And that got a weird story too. Womack and Womack. Never mind. Anyways, we ain't gonna get too deep.
We can talk about this
Yeah,
after the show.
yeah.
You gotta refresh my memory.
Yeah, that was the end of my song. But so I started watching The Two Killings of Sam Cooke.
Oh, okay. No, this is the thing because Linda ended up marrying Bobby Womack's brother.
Wait, what?
So this daughter married Bobby Womack's brother.
That's put that Womack and Womack. Come.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's how I was like,
If you got real love for me.
I'm like, I know it was a sibling somewhere that slept with
Stay
somebody.
away. If you got tricks and games for me. Yeah.
This is a mess.
I want a man. Come on. Okay, that was it. She's the one who did that song. So she did that with Bobby Womack's brother.
Who she ended up marrying. I knew it was a sibling. There was a story about a sibling there somewhere. Because I was like, okay, did he sleep with the widow's sister? I knew it was something about
That is so messy. It is. I remember that. But yeah, she got that song. I love Womack and Womack. I do love Womack and Womack. But yeah, that's messy as fucking hell.
Yeah. But so one night in Miami. Check it out.
After all that, girl, so everybody was supporting everybody, and that shit was a mess. But also, just check it out. See for yourself if you
That has nothing to do with their conversation and how they were trying to progress the black race. But check them out.
It is what it is. So the emotional show is back.
The first black family. And the other Pearsons.
Yeah, it's literally the black Pearsons and the rest of them, because that's how I watch this. Is
Right.
the way the white people are supporting cast.
Right. Right. So This Is Us is back. And the last couple of episodes have really focused on, I'm not going to say the last two episodes.
You're lying. They focus on the whole family, but the last episode did Randall's
Yeah, the
mom.
last episode was about Randall, but like the episode before that, it was just kind of, we found out that Kate had an abortion by that little bummy abusive boyfriend that she had, but for some reason she felt that she needed to go to San Diego to see him.
That was so stupid.
When she was already following him on social media, and it was like you couldn't tell he was a bum.
Fucker. Like he was looking at like a comic book store at the time.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like a little music or whatever.
Like a 7-Eleven or something. But then it's like the way he was like, you were broken in all the right places or something like that. I was like, did people say that? Did they? I don't know.
That was stupid. I could have had her search him and then realize she won. I didn't need the trip.
Yeah. Because, I mean...
That wasted time. I could have been watching Randall and Beth and the Black Pearsons.
Yeah. So she finally told Toby that she had an abortion and stuff. And Toby was taken aback because he was just like, damn, we've been together all these years and you ain't tell me. And then
Do you think you should tell people if you had abortions?
I've known people that have told because that could also help you, that could affect your fertility, possibly.
I get that part because I had a friend, I haven't had an abortion, but I had a friend who had two. And I remember my mama saying, you tell people shit like that because, you know, apparently. That's another story. My mama was just like, y'all be telling people tell people they had abortions?
But I think it's the thing because the thing with Toby was like, so you were having fertility issues? You ain't think to tell me about this while we were trying to figure out why you weren't getting pregnant? It could have possibly had an effect. But I think also because I have a friend who had an abortion when she was younger, like high school, college, or whatever. Well, getting ready to go to college. And that really weighed on her. Oh. And I feel like she felt that was a part of her story. So it's kind of like, and not that she was just telling dudes, like, and I had an abortion. It was just like,
hey, my name is Ebony. I had an abortion.
Yeah, it's just, once you get to a certain point with somebody, y'all, that's just kind of something that, that comes up, So I don't think anything is wrong with telling. I wouldn't just tell everybody. Yeah. I haven't had an abortion, but that wouldn't be something I share with everybody. But I would feel that if this person is supposed to be my person, if he's my significant other, and we plan on having kids and all that stuff, you should. I mean, that's a part of my story, and we should be able to talk about that without any judgments, So, and especially if it could possibly lead to something down the line. And not saying that it is, because I know that's how a lot of people like to scare women out of getting abortions. Like, oh, and it's going to mess up your fertility. I know somebody that had like 2 or 3 abortions, and she happily married, got 3rd child on the way. So it's like...
My mama had 3 kids, child.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like pro-choice, very much pro-choice. Yeah. But there are, in certain circumstances, everything has a side effect, possibly.
And some stuff have a side effect that you didn't even entertain. It's a lot of people just can't have kids because they just can't.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. I'm not against. I remember I knew somebody who was just like, people who abort kids are selfish. I think people who keep kids are selfish. That's
especially if you can't provide for a child and you're really just keeping them for your own personal gain to do.
And I don't like the fact that clearly I'm pro-choice here. I don't like the fact that a lot of times in society you hate when women get abortions, but if my family's heavily involved in the adoption agency and children and family. Mm-hmm. It's not enough money for them kids. Mm-hmm. So you want to tell people to keep their kids, but you don't want to fund how to keep the kids they do not want.
Yes. And then the horror stories I be hearing about.
It's horror stories.
Foster care.
I like I said, I had about 20 cousins that all came from foster care. My family's my grandma and granddad are certified. I got 3 aunties that are certified. I got 2 cousins that are certified, and I got 2 aunties that actually work for the children and family department in Florida. The stories are terrible. If you want to be pro-life, you need to fund adoption agencies and things of that nature and foster care. You need to. It is what it is.
I was just watching that episode of Different World when they were trying to get that little boy adopted.
Of course, you're watching the think piece.
They had the fair, and he had to sell himself. And it was
I like the fish.
Yeah, it was just like, what? Girl. And then he was like, I'm 9 years old. They not going to adopt me. They want babies.
And it's like that. They want babies. They don't want older kids. They don't want kids with disability. Mm-hmm. Luckily, my grandmother always got older kids that had disabilities. So, and I'm talking about, and disabilities be easy. People don't want to deal with spina bifida. People don't want to deal, and my cousin's spina bifida isn't hindering. She can live her life clearly, but people don't want to have quote unquote broke children, and I say that in quotations. Like, they don't want broke children.
And then you also got to think about a lot of minority kids that's in foster care. And
It
people
is.
don't want to adopt little black children.
And people don't want to adopt. People will see a family of 3 kids, but like the baby, and then now they're breaking up a family.
Yeah, now that's selfish. Like that.
So you're not gonna take all 3 of the kids. You're just gonna take the baby you want.
Yeah.
It's sickening, and that's why I'm pro-choice, because y'all don't even want to give enough money to even. First, I'm pro-choice anyway because it's a woman's body. Fuck y'all. But I'm second pro-choice by default because y'all don't want to give enough money to foster care.
A lot of pro-lifers, they just want to tell you what to do. They just want to have agency over your body and tell you, have a baby, but then they don't want to provide any resources for it.
And but anyway, so back to the Black Pearsons.
Wait, no, and then Kevin, he has that movie Roku. He went to Canada, even though his fiance, she's pregnant. She's like in her last
Chrissy said she think that lady gonna die.
The way that they set it up in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if she died.
Well, this is us love to kill somebody and make it emotional.
Yeah, so, but, you know.
And now he got to be super responsible because now he's a father of 2.
Well, then they're going to be like, that's what he needs. It's a full circle woman.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but, you know, he goes off to Canada, even though he doesn't want to, because he's like, I want to be here when the babies are delivered. And she's like, oh, you'll make it back in time. But then we get to Randall. And Randall, you know, the video went viral of him taking off his clothes in his office, and then the Korean man from Louisiana contacted him and was basically like, I think I know your mother. You need to come to Louisiana so I can show you where she hung at. You know, I need to show you where she grew up at. So the last episode was them going to Louisiana, and we getting the story about Randall's mother, because he was under the impression, because I'm glad that they immediately exonerated William, because at first Randall was just on some like, William told me my mama is dead. Like, what are you talking about?
Listen, let me tell you something. I like to cut stuff off anyway. So I text Chrissy, I was like, they better clear his name. I would never watch this show again if they don't clear my nigga name.
Because he was just like, he told me, is she dead? Like, what you mean? My mama is alive. Did he lie to me? And the man immediately was like, well, from the story that I know, he did think your mom was dead. And so we just ended up finding out that that Randall's mother comes from a good background from Louisiana, but they seemed like overly religious, and they were like the bourgeoisie or whatnot, and basically didn't want them to fall out of line with the image that they had prepared.
They're very Louisiana. What Creole? They're very Louisiana Creole. Yeah. Creole Louisiana people are funny to me, especially the ones who are like can speak French and are light skinned. They're a funny culture to me, because you know what it reminds me of too? Eve's Bayou. Yeah. Like
the daddy didn't even want her talking to the aunt, and we later find out that he didn't want her having a relationship with the aunt because the aunt was
a renegade.
More free spirited. We find out she had an affair with a married man and got pregnant.
And the thing is, she owned a house in land too. It's not like she was a bum bitch.
Yeah, but you don't.
But she wasn't a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant.
She wasn't living right. She wasn't Christian or whatever. So, but we see that's like his mother's. That's where she goes for her refuge, just to see her aunt. And she doesn't have to be all prim and proper with her aunt. She can jump in the lake and her hair be all big and poofy and stuff. And then we also see that her brother, she had an older brother who she felt, besides her aunt, he was the only other person that understood her. But he goes off to the war. He goes off to the military and gets killed. And so she's just still in Louisiana, just kind of living or whatever. And she ends up meeting this, was it Korean or Vietnamese? I think it's Vietnamese.
I feel Vietnamese, but Asian descent essentially.
Yeah, East Asian.
Yeah. But I feel like it was Vietnamese.
Yeah, I think he was Vietnamese. They end up falling.
Because I think they end up tying him being from Vietnamese. So I think the brother was the Vietnam War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So But they end up falling in love. But of course, they can't be together because the
he could not speak English when she first met him, and his family were worker bees.
Yeah, and they had her set up with this black dude who was gonna be working with the daddy. And
gave him a promotion.
Yeah, it was basically like he gonna ask you to marry him, and you need to say yes. And she was like, "Well, I'm out." And she went to her Vietnamese man and was like, "You should come with me," but he was just like, I can't because I am providing my family a livelihood. If I leave, who's gonna take care of my people? And she ends up going. She was gonna go to Chicago, but I think
she couldn't afford it.
Yeah, she couldn't afford it.
She had enough money to get to Philly.
Yeah, so that's where she ends up meeting William, and her life just kind of spirals. And she does have Randall, and she does die, but they bring her back to life. But by that time, William left the room,
which is actually the saddest part of that story to me. That William went his whole life thinking she died.
Yeah.
And not that they could have did right by Randall. I think Randall ended up, even though Randall's childhood seems, I don't want to use the word difficult. His childhood was challenging, but overall, he had a good childhood. If that makes sense, right? It
was complicated.
Yeah,
because it's like basically he got all that a child would need and want, but it was just the fact that he didn't know his black side.
Yeah, and he wanted to so desperately.
Yeah.
So that was like the weird part. But I think the saddest part of that story to me is that, because I think she just didn't get Randall because she thought Randall was just better off by himself. Yeah. Better off where he was at.
Yeah, because plus, she ended up going to prison. It was like she gave birth to him and then went to prison for 5 years.
Yeah, she gave birth to him. They let her get her life at the hospital. But the second she recovered, they sent her to jail for 5 years. Which made me super sad because I know if her dad got involved, it wouldn't have been 5 years, but maybe she would have been an addict again. The 5 years probably saved her life. Yeah,
because she would have went back home and because she wouldn't have been happy. Because they would have held that over her head, too.
Yeah, she would have tanked. So she needed the 5 years in a weird way.
But it was the fact that she went to jail for 5 years, but because of overcrowding in the Philly prison system, they sent her to California.
Yeah.
So she was in jail for 5 years. She was only able to afford a ticket back to Louisiana, and then that's where she
went
settled.
Back to her aunt.
Yeah, she settled the rest of her life, but we don't know what happened if she was able to mend that relationship with her parents.
And I hear that. And shout out to Kalita Smith. Kalita Smith was her mom. Her when they showed her as a child. Yeah. Kalita Smith was her mom. Kalita Smith was on Jamie Foxx show, Fancy's best friend and best known as Aunt Wanda. On the Bernie Mac show. The
guy that played her father, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Roll Bounce, so it was a mini reunion for them because he played Bow Wow's daddy, and he was also Ike Friend on What's Love Got to Do with It? Anime, just eat the cake, anime. Hey, don't get that on you.
You let a motherfucker beat on you? Come on, that shit that rape scene is terrible, but it's hilarious. It's like, man,
I'm tired.
You tired? Okay.
But yeah, so she lived the rest of her life in Louisiana, and the Vietnamese man, he had ended up married and with children, but then he lost his wife, and they ended up reconnecting when she was in the later years of her life because she had been diagnosed with cancer. And
they reunited at the market.
Yeah.
But then she disappeared, and then he went looking for her, went to her house and found out she had cancer, and that's why she wasn't keeping up with her market booth or whatever.
Yeah.
So then they spent 2 or 3 months. It was like a few months together.
I thought it was years.
It was years?
Because I thought that at first it was supposed to be only a few months, but then she ended up living.
Because somebody said they needed more time? Okay, it might have been years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, she ended up passing away, but he informed Randall that she left the house not that she left the house to Randall. He was just basically like, here.
This is your property.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even your house. This is your property.
Yeah, this is your on top of a lake, which was basically her aunt's house then.
He got the aunt's house. Yeah. He got the garden. That's what I kept saying, like a farmhouse.
Yeah.
Because, I guess there's so much property over there.
Yeah. And so, like, I would like to see with Randall, because even though she may
Because FYI, they said they're gonna wrap that show up in like a year or two.
Yeah, they only got like another season or so left. But I would like to see Randall, even though his mother only had a sibling that passed away, you know, there's still other families. So I would like to see if maybe he can unite with, like, because the aunt.
What if he had like a black brother or sister? Like, what if the mom had another baby?
No, she said she only had Randall.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I tried.
But if, like, because
I tried.
Right. The aunt was his sister, so was her dad's sister. So maybe if her mom has family, I would like to see him. He need to do like a 23andMe and connect with his family, connect with his relatives.
You can do that.
I mean, he met his family in Tennessee.
I want that for me, when This Is Us ends, I want This Is Us to end with Randall and Beth retiring in Louisiana at that house.
Yeah. And
they just revamp it, and
Yeah.
I want that for them.
I know that they had a moment where we see him talking to his mom, which was kind of like, okay.
It was weird.
Yeah.
And Christy said that was who?
The woman
older woman.
Yeah, the older woman that played his mother is Marla Gibbs' daughter.
Okay, shout out to Marla Gibbs. That's 227.
Because Marla was in an episode of This Is Us too, like the first season. Remember at the diner? She was Kevin was talking to her.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, she's in the first season. She's in one of the episodes. She's the lady.
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, I get what they were doing. I hated that scene though, but I get what they were doing.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. But
yeah, it was like I get it, because when you be going through stuff, it'd be like a mental thing. So I know it was him closing chapters, but it just felt very awkward to watch.
Yeah, but it also just helps him to be like, let me get myself together with Kevin. Like, I've been holding on to this. Like, let me let it go. But then we see that Kevin is rushing home because, what is her name? What's
the baby mama?
His fiance. She's went into labor. So he's rushing home and he's like, Miranda, I can't talk to you right now. And so we ended up seeing that it appears that he's in a car accident for the next episode. His car is flipped over. So we'll see what happens.
Is it sad that I don't care that? I don't know.
We'll see what happens with this.
I mean, I've been watching This Is Us, but I've been watching for the Black Pearson. So
Look,
this ain't a whole episode about Kevin in that car accident. I'm gonna be mad.
You know how they be giving them each their own episode?
Well, now I'm here.
Because, look, we got to get an episode. We got Randall and his mom. Then we're going to get Kevin and dealing with his, with the pregnancy and trying to get back home. And then we got to get Kate because, you know, they still trying to adopt that baby. And the mother seemed a little suspect. Like, she might wait until she had a baby and be like, so actually.
Change your plans.
I think I'm going to keep her.
Right.
But This Is Us Wednesday. Tuesday.
It's Tuesdays. So I'm assuming we're still watching Real Housewives of Potomac.
Well, Potomac is finally they wrapped that show up, child. Oh, I'm so damn tired about hearing that girl that girl got snatched up, girl. You would think that she got full blown attacked, thrown across the room. I'm so glad that's wrapped up. Monique. I'm
actually happy Monique quit. I don't watch the show enough to real care, but I feel like I'm happy she quit because that eliminates storylines for everybody else. Now figure out something.
Candace is still talking about it, and what's gonna happen next season? Which is, I feel like next season they need to get somebody that's either really neutral or someone that's Karen's friend. Because what's going to happen is that next season, the cast is going to gang up on Karen because Karen didn't go along with them as far as trying to
Karen be eating their asses up anyway, so I can't wait for her to eat them up every day.
Yeah, so, but...
Because she don't let Robin breathe.
Yeah, she'll let up on Robin. But, yeah, I'm glad that we need a break because I got so tired about hearing about that fight and... Candace.
What do you think? I think it's funny that, you said it was weird that you thought she had that binder. I think it was funny. I think she already knew she was going to quit that show. Mm-hmm. I think she went out with a bang, and I'm happy she did. And I don't like Jamal Bryant or John Gray, so here we are.
Well, John Gray has nothing to do with it.
Well, I fucking hate him.
Jamal Bryant.
You're right. Honestly, his church is in North Carolina. I don't know how you did this, how you segued it, but I hate him too. And also, LaToya Luckett, good job.
But my thing about Jamal Bryant, so we all know he's trifling. We all know his reputation. The only thing that I just didn't, for her to use him to get to Giselle, I didn't fully agree with that. But at the end of the day, I didn't care because I was like, well,
I get it because you, as a person who has, when they go low, you supposed to go high, but I like to go lower. I find anything to find a reason to gun at you. Mm-hmm. So whatever it is that I know will rock your world, and unfortunately, which that is unfortunate for Giselle, he rocks her world. Like that is the one thing that's, and it's not even about him being her kid's father. Mm-hmm. Take that aside. Conversation about Jamal Bryant still does something to her.
Yeah, but that was Giselle's dumbass, like trying to fake a relationship. Like y'all need to have it. You
and he just saw
when
he went on his live with his. I can get a binder too. It's just like this, y'all pastor.
You got the, I got the rest. You got
the binder. I got a cash register. This y'all pastor, huh?
It was just like
y'all pay your tithes today, huh?
Right.
Your tithes. Okay.
It was Giselle was dumb for trying to use him as a storyline anyway, because you've already been on the show before talking about he was a cheetah pumpkin eater. And we already know Jamal's past, so it was like, why even? And your own daughters is on the show, like, no, yeah.
It was like, hey, I know you want to be back with my dad. I hate that you made him mad.
And then your own daddy was like, this nigga, like, he got 7 kids by 7 different, like, that was just dumb on Giselle, because that was the easy target. But then she didn't even, to me, it was crazy that she didn't even think about him being the easy target, and how she was just, it was like, girl, what did you think?
I hate that for her.
I don't, because Giselle was hella messy. Like this.
And she had, Chris is on social media. We said that earlier today. So she released like pictures of her crossing over as an AKA. When I say a beauty,
but that
it annoys me that she thought that was the best she could do. Jamal Bryant is literally the best that she thought she can do. Them pictures are like, and it was like off guard pictures. It was like her walking with her friend, and it was just like,
no, Giselle is a beautiful.
No, but even then, it was just like, no, I was like literally mesmerized. Somebody was like, you know who she reminded everybody of? Because her eyes were like super like doe-eyed too at that time. Audra O'Day. Is that the one they say looks like Rihanna?
Audra Day.
Audra Day?
You think
Audrey O'Day.
Yeah.
Okay, Audra Day and Rihanna. Her picture looks like they could all be siblings. Like, and it's like these gorgeous green eyes, and like her hair fluffed out because she wear her real hair. And no shade, I mean, you can wear fake hair, whatever. But the pictures of her in college when she was crossing was just these like random beauty shots that I know she didn't even like train for. It was literally somebody with their camera, their little disposable camera or whatever. It was like click, and it was just catching all the fucking angles on that woman.
But that's the thing.
And I was just like, that is the best. If I looked like that, you bitches can tell me shit.
But that's the thing. Giselle has been getting off her looks, and that's why she ain't putting that into her wardrobe. She probably got
Thank you, Karen.
She probably got a shitty personality. Like, it's just looks.
Looks
will open some doors up for you.
Looks will get you in.
Yeah, but you gotta be likable.
I'm gonna tell y'all, and I say this all the time. It's a clique of y'all. If there's a pretty girl, if y'all a pretty clique, y'all gonna get into the door. Who's going to win in the door is the girl with the good personality, the average girl who got good vagina, and the girl who can crack some jokes. The pretty girl get left behind a lot.
And she'll
and if the pretty girl max the first time, once people fully gauge her, it's a done deal.
Yeah. So I feel like that's Giselle's problem, and that's why Giselle was looking at Monique like, you got this, like I'm supposed to have this. But you settled for Jamal, or maybe Jamal was the only thing you could get, because who have you pulled since then? Your best friend is Kevin Lyles. Erica
Lyles is your best friend.
Like,
it's somebody in the industry, sis.
Yeah, so doing? Because even like she had the one dude Sherman on there, and after a while he seemed to be annoyed by her too. When she'd be like, "Why call Sherman and he didn't answer?" It was like these niggas was hoeing her on TV, and she making excuses for.
It was sad to see how like, and anybody who know me, I don't get like super. I'm very particular about words like pretty and beautiful and gorgeous. I'm very particular when I give my compliment. I will tell you fine. I come up with cute. It's not too many times I give a pretty compliment to. And them pictures immediately, I was just like, wait, Giselle is gorgeous as hell.
Yeah. But it also, it could have been that thing where Giselle, because some people, we heard this logic from Tamar. You got to get the unattractive dude because he going to treat you right. And it may have been like, she didn't want to
I don't even think that about Jamal. Jamal been cocky. Jamal probably was top tier in his space because he gives me a cocky attitude.
Well, he's a pastor. And so that being in the first lady and all that stuff, and women be...
It was attractive, but then not saying that she could have did... I mean, nobody do better than God. But overall, she still could have did better. She could have did a better industry. And she don't seem super religious to me. It'd be different if I felt like she was super religious. Like Kiara Clark Sheard. If she wanted to marry somebody that was over a church, I'd be like, that's in her arena.
But that's what I'm saying with Giselle. Like, she got with him because he was a pastor and it was just that lifestyle. Because she wouldn't be my first lady.
She could have did a better lifestyle than that, though.
Yeah, but
no. But I don't think he a real pastor, so that's what I'm saying.
But you're not thinking from Giselle's mind frame. Giselle really was a pretty girl that really just felt that her looks were going to get her. I don't think there was Giselle really put any.
So no, I played basketball. She was in DC.
The dude that she was dating, no, she went to Hampton. The dude that she was dating on the show, Sherman, he was like an ex-NBA player or something.
That's what I need for her.
But she couldn't keep his attention. Like I mean, not to say, because sometimes niggas are just niggas, and you could be
niggas will be niggas.
Yeah, you could be everything that they really want in a woman, and they'll still do whatever. But yeah, I'm glad that
Hey, Robin.
Thank God. So glad
that Ron
was not here,
honey. Let me be clear. Let's just start from the beginning. One, I've watched enough reality TV shows, reunion shows to know that y'all don't book these a day before. These are planned. And with COVID, they're even more planned. So that Ron Dixon could have been there. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to be there. He's just as bad as, he's kind of as bad as Jamal Bryant. He didn't want to be there, and he wanted to take your back, and he wanted to have a conversation. So you're wishing Ron Dixon was there. Mm-hmm. Ron Dixon did not want to be there, bitch. Yeah. It's simple.
Yeah.
And you really should be off the show. You have nothing that you're getting.
Yeah, she's really just on the show. I think because of Giselle. But Robin be cool without Giselle, but it's just when Giselle's around, and that's when it's...
And I hate that. And Giselle, we got to get out in the 2000s, sweetie.
Yeah.
When Karen was like, I go to her page to laugh because during the pandemic, it's a lot going on. So to see her in her clothes, her clown clothes, it's hilarious. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like she don't even be trying, but they gonna have to do something because this season put a bad taste to everybody's mouth, especially like the classism and the whole Wendy and them. Well, I'm a darker skinned woman and you called me aggressive, but then the scene, it was like, I know I was acting aggressively. And it's just like, but y'all are okay. Y'all think that's terrible, but y'all okay with Monique and that ghetto bitch.
Y'all throw a lot of hood rat and ghettos to Monique. Yeah. And the reality is Monique is doing better than all y'all. Monique probably is the person who's doing better than everybody on that show. And it also, Andy, while I'm fucking here, I was watching it. I was watching the clips, and I don't be want to say too much because, like I said, I don't be watching the full show. But what I've gotten that the comment section also said Andy really didn't like Monique, so he kind of was being very funny acting with her.
Andy is like real weird when it comes to black women because he stay like asking like, oh, is that a weave Or it's like he was.
And they said the question that pissed him off was when she said her husband was doing well, and he was like, "Well, is he really?"
Yeah,
and then she was just like, "His investments are doing fine."
Yeah, he's like he be real funny about asking him about money, but he don't do that with the white women.
And I don't like that.
Yeah,
Fuck Andy for
it's
that.
just.
And it's the black women that been keeping y'all shows afloat. Get rid of Potomac and Atlanta. You done lost literally a lot of viewership.
Yeah, and even like for Candace to be throwing out you hood rat and like Candace, she appears to have came from like a upper middle class family. Like I don't.
But you married a nigga with 3 baby mamas that don't take care of the kids. So fuck you.
He's a cook. Y'all were trying to say
At
that
best.
was his restaurant, and that's not his restaurant. He's a chef.
At best.
Yeah, and it was like the first time I think she said she went out of the country was when the show sent them out of the country. So it's just kind of like
You're not that girl.
You ain't. Yeah, you.
Hell, Krista go to the country like 3 times a year. You're not that girl.
Not like that, but then even like I feel like she. What's the word I want to use? Because they tried to hype her up like, oh, she worked on the Obama administration. But now I'm like,
but if we be clear, if we be clear, you can. When people are trying to be presidents, and this is just random for anybody, your city, your county, your state has something you can volunteer, and you can get hired within your city and state. Mm-hmm. Just because you're working for the Obama or the Trump or the Lincoln administration doesn't mean you report to Obama and Obama's talking to you. He might meet you in your city and shake your hand, and they might say, oh, these are the workers from this city, this county, this state, or whatever. But Obama is not your direct boss. You're like 8, 9 levels behind. And when I mean 8, 9, I mean 12 levels behind them. So
but they're gonna have to do something about that, because that was just real. Like how, and we represent every black woman on the planet. Like
you don't. And then the only person that like was dealing with Potomac for real was the person that y'all didn't want on the show. Monique had a job. Lived in Potomac.
Yeah, she's the only one that lives in Potomac.
And was really kind of only really a housewife.
Yeah. My only thing about Monique was that I feel like she wasted her opportunity, because I felt like out of all the women, she had the best storyline with her husband and her kids, and I felt like she really could have built her brand.
She wasted her real story.
Yeah, she wasted the opportunity. Like she just got so caught up in they don't like me and I'm gonna go after Giselle, when it's like you could.
She could have candied it. She could have candied this out.
Definitely.
She could have been pushing her kids on that. She could have been doing natural hair. She could have been going to natural hair seminars with her child. Yeah, and she's a pretty woman.
Yeah,
I think people want to talk about colorism on that show. Honestly, Monique is in top 2, and she might not be number 2 for me.
Yeah, the lineup of that cast, to me, I think that Giselle is a pretty woman, but Giselle's not in the top 2 for me.
Who's your top 2?
Monique. I think Monique is very pretty. I think Candace is pretty too.
Candace ain't in my top though. I would give my top 2 to Giselle and Monique.
But I actually think that Robin is prettier than Giselle.
I don't know. But maybe because I think she's a weak ass bitch. So I can't get past her being a weak ass bitch either. So
I think Potomac has a nice looking cast. And I mean, I even think that Wendy I think she was a good addition to the cast, because
her 4 degrees.
Girl, that she never lets us forget. I think she was a good addition, but they gonna have to do something, because the way they played this whole fight, it was very they're gonna no. So, but so we'll see how the next season goes. But we do have Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I just want to say, Kenya is so mad that Portia is likable.
She is.
She's so mad. Portia done dragged this lady across the stage. She's still working. Portia done been in 2 fights since then. She's still working. Portia, the whole rape gate thing, she is still there. Kenya is so mad that Portia's still on that show. And people like to be like, well, why would Kenya be jealous of Portia? I've said since that first season that they were on that show that Kenya was jealous of Portia. Because it's not the fact that what Portia has or hasn't in comparison to her accolades to Kenya. It's the fact that Kenya is like, how dare this girl was married to a football player, given this lifestyle, and she's dumb. Like, how dare she be on the same platform as me and be talking to me? It had essentially more than
she
what I
didn't
had.
like Portia because Portia was essentially take out the pageantry.
Mm-hmm.
Portia was a younger version of her, but Portia succeeded in that space. Portia did what Kenya probably wanted to do. Mm. What Portia did at 20 or 25, however old Portia was, Kenya wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And it was an ageism thing to me because also it was a whole bunch of other people on that show that was Portia's level. Like, you should have not liked Nene. You should have not liked. It's a whole bunch.
At least with Portia was coming there off of, I'm married to Cordell, but I'm also Hosea Williams' granddaughter. So that's something in Atlanta. Yeah. You're not even from Atlanta. You just came and bought something Atlanta so you could have a house because obviously your Hollywood career was no longer popping. Because, you're a pretty lady, but looks can only last you for so long. And after seeing her on the show, I'm
pretty sure as much as she got booked for like Hollywood stuff, I know she was auditioning for other stuff that she just wasn't getting.
Let's be honest. Kenya's acting is only cameo worthy.
It is.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying that. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I just think that she probably was auditioning and she wasn't getting what she wanted.
Yeah.
She was getting the cute girl, that the pretty woman, the bad bitch woman, because she always came in, her hair was fly, her body, they always had her in a good dress. And sis came in and brought the scene.
Delivered her one or two lines.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, you know Michael? Oh wait, you know Tim? Oh,
yeah.
Hey Tim.
Hi.
Oh. Okay.
I thought you said
her biggest role was Jamie Foxx.
I would say Martin because everybody remembers Mrs. Boaz, but then
but I could say
that.
I could see that, but she even had more lines in Jamie Foxx. Yeah. I say Jamie Foxx because she had more lines, but Mrs. Boaz, yes.
But actually, the show that she was really on the most, where they like gave her like a storyline, was In the House. But you didn't see that because
they was playing it at midnight.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the season.
They started playing. Let me tell you something. In the House, LL Cool J, Maya Campbell. I hope she's doing well. Kim Wayans, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Debbie Allen.
If we just gonna keep it above Debbie Allen first season. Let me tell y'all how UPN really played because I feel like after a while
that wasn't UPN. That was NBC.
NBC started. No, they went to UPN.
Oh, okay.
They did the first season on NBC with Debbie Allen. Then they went to UPN because we said that earlier. Yeah. They used to do that. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all really played with In the House because I remember In the House was actually on a lineup, and then I remember watching In the House right before Apollo came on. Mm-hmm. Everybody know Apollo came on in the middle of the damn night, and In the House was coming on right before it. Why would y'all do that?
Yeah, like that was just weird. But we didn't even get to see Kenya's acting chops because they came. But if you want to watch In the House, it's on Aspire. They be playing it. But
no at all.
I decided to watch In the House like a few years ago. I did.
In the House.
It was on YouTube. But we'll do an appreciation on In the House later. But yeah, but Kenya. But even,
let me know the week you want to do that so I can watch them again.
Okay. But even like with Kenya, because at this point, Kenya's legacy is now being messy on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because, yes, she is the first Miss Black USA, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And I remember being a kid and watching her and just even seeing her throughout the years on stuff and being like, oh, look at Kenya Moore. And when she when it was announced she was going to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I was like, oh, Kenya
Moore's coming. Oh my God, Kenya Moore from all the shows I super love. Bad bitch Kenya Moore. Pretty Kenya Moore. Eating everybody up Kenya Moore. Wayne XL Kenya Moore. Deliver Us from Evil Kenya Moore. Living Single Kenya Moore. I feel like First Prince of Bel-Air Kenya Moore.
She was on there.
Yeah, First Prince of Bel-Air.
You gotta watch the opening.
Yeah. No, y'all, Kenya Moore was literally if there was a black show or movie at a certain decade, Kenya Moore was showing up.
Jermaine Dupri, Jay-Z, Money Ain't a Thing,
Kenya Moore.
But it's like she's just so unlikable.
She's a bitch.
And it just really goes to show you.
And she's not even a bitch. She's a toxic person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you listen, I fought for Kenya Moore multiple seasons. The season I gave up on Kenya Moore is when she was trying.
So that was only like 3 seasons. That was
third
only like
season.
her 3rd season in.
When she did that shit with Kim Fields, Regine Hunter, Tootie, and then she kept her digs to Kim Fields were actually compliments. So it's like, is that what what's her name?
Garrett.
Is that what Mrs. Garrett? Is that what Mrs. Garrett taught you with your roller skates? And the thing about the roller skates, they're in the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
That is how popular Kim Fields is. The skates that she wore on a 70s television show is in the Smithsonian next to goddamn Michael Jackson's penny loafers.
And the fact that she kept being like, my show, when Kim Fields is like, okay, but I can get off the show and I have other
And
avenues.
she got off the show and went on about her day.
Yeah.
And it was literally that simple for her. She was like, all right, this isn't my whatever.
Stars the next season.
And the whole time she's been directing.
Yeah.
If you really, Kim Fields was directing shows on Nickelodeon and she still keeps a job. Like,
yeah.
She directed that, an episode of Insecure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Anne was on it.
Anne was on the show she directed.
No. J. Ellis directed
No, that one, okay, so, but Kim Fields did do a...
Yeah, she did a cameo, but she didn't direct it.
Okay, so Kim Fields directed Kenan and Kel, That's So Raven. She keeps Nickelodeon and Disney in her bag.
Yeah, so it's like Kenya, because Kenya's not going to have the same legacy as Vanessa Williams. And I know people could be like, oh, well, it's because of colorism, and colorism is very real.
Vanessa Williams had a singing career. Vanessa Williams X down.
Yeah.
And I've never heard too much, even if I've never heard nothing bad about Vanessa Williams. And her daughter is the woman from Lion Baby.
Lion Baby, yeah. Vanessa Williams was married to a producer, then she was married to
Rick Fox, the NBA player. She married that nigga during the Lakers.
Yeah, now she married to another wealthy man. And hell...
And keep a check.
Yeah, and hell, Vanessa Williams got her crown snatched.
American Fiera, what show was it? Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty.
She was on Ugly Betty. She did it.
Housewives.
She was on Desperate Housewives for like a season or 2. She had that one show that was based off The View on VH1 that got canceled. Still top tier. She played that Scrooge one with Chili.
Yeah, she was in Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and
she was in Eraser.
Okay, so maybe it was Eraser then.
Oh yeah, it was Eraser. I think we had Eraser on VHS.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. She did play in Demolition Man too, because she played in the movie with Sylvester Stallone.
So we had Eraser in that house. So she was in Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I remember that.
Yeah.
She's Terry from Soul Food.
Yeah. So, and it has nothing to do with colorism. It's just Kenya Moore.
Can you work? Are you talented?
Yeah.
And if you ever Google, I'm not gonna say Google the pictures, but if you don't Google the pictures that got her kicked off the pageantry, I stand a sis that's sexually liberated and busting down, because them pictures are hot.
Who you think leaked them pictures? You think it was one of the chicks them runner-ups?
I think the person who took the pictures, when she won, realized how much money, because apparently they got sold to Playboy for their rights. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to my mama, had never seen the pictures. I sent my mama the pictures. She's like, oh, I definitely see why they kicked her off in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Them pictures are provocative.
I saw them pictures a long time ago.
And then I remember I was asking my best friend about the pictures. He was like, no, we went and got the magazine for that. Like, we went to the store, we bought the magazine to see her. And he was like, we were impressed. Them pictures are kind of top.
Yeah, so she wasn't in Demolition Man. It was Eraser.
Okay, sans sex aside, the fact that she was comfortable enough with her body and busting down like that, them pictures are top tier. I'm sorry. And them pictures in real life, if we were living in this age, them pictures would have her everywhere. Everybody trying to interview her, honestly.
Save the Best for Last was a #1 song.
Girl, no. Just Around the River Band. No, not Just Around the River Band. What's the Pocahontas song?
Can you see
the colors of the wind? Y'all did you win a Grammy for that? Colors of the Wind is top tier.
I liked her song. She remade the Isley songs. I got work to do.
That's not the song I like. What's the original? What's the song they know her for?
You come and save the
No, what's the other one?
for last.
I just sent it to somebody too.
But yeah, like, and that's not gonna be Kenya's legacy, because even though Kenya's a pretty girl, it shows that her attitude is just terrible.
Is it Right Stuff?
And her acting wasn't that great either. So, but you know, we'll see how Real Housewives of Atlanta go, because I don't think at this point it's not just Nene isn't there so it's boring. It's just they've all been on the show for a long time, so maybe
They need to revamp the whole show. It's not
need,
Nene, it's everybody to go.
Yeah, they need to get new cast members. So, but we'll see.
Oh, it's The Right Stuff. That's the one I
Right
like.
Stuff, baby. Yeah.
I do like Right Stuff.
And also, y'all, a show that has came back is Married at First Sight in Atlanta. That Chris character, who was a pastor but said he wasn't making enough money, so then he became an entrepreneur. And I didn't know that you can't work and be a pastor of a church, because I mean, my dad did it. He had a 9-to-5 but still pastored a church that was out of the city that we lived in. But yeah, he's on it. Oh, and he was engaged 3 months prior to being on the show.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Chrissy told me about that.
He was engaged 3 months prior to being on the show, but the chick that he was engaged to, he proposed to her after 3 months, and then they broke up after like another 2 to 3 months. And so basically he says that he wants a wife that is submissive but a freak in the bed.
Let me tell you something. I hate, listen, if this show ain't for this, because we talk about TVs and movies and stuff, this is more of a recovering party girl type of topic. But y'all really want virginal freaks, and I don't understand that.
Yeah,
you want your virgin to be a freak.
Yeah, I don't.
How do that? That's not how that happens. So, okay? I don't want no virgin to give me good dick. That's not how that happens. But go ahead.
And them executives was playing in our face, and they gonna play in his future wife face. But she's like, after seeing her, she's just as superficial. So they may work, because they're both into this whole power couples and all that stuff. And you know, when you go into a situation like that, you just really marrying an idea. But whatever, more power to them. But Married at First Sight comes on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock or 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been great. I hope we caught y'all up on us and the shows. Y'all been asking for this show. So, because y'all, and shout out to everybody, because y'all tagged We The Viewers page in a lot of like throwback stuff, a lot of TV shows y'all watching. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for...
You.
Even Chrissy ain't shit and she never tagged. You know, just thank y'all. Just thank y'all. But no, this has been great. We'll try to do well at this point. And honestly, guys, it's not much TV on TV, so we like it to build up so we can have like a show. So you know, it's not us being terrible.
And we still trying to maneuver this pandemic.
It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And pandemic wise, personal lives, y'all know the vibes. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for loving the show. Thank y'all if y'all listen to Recovering Party Girls. Thank y'all for that as well. You can follow We The Viewers on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I think Christy page is still private, but it's I Love Christy for her. LUV, not LOVE. She probably won't accept you, but here we are.
I will. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up when I get off my fast.
But either way, you can find everything else on Recovering Party Girls, because I post about this show there as well. So you guys have a great week.
Yeah.
Happy MLK Day.
Yes, happy birthday
to you. Wait, so why he did that on his birthday while he was alive or no?
No, this is when they made it a holiday back in the 80s.
Oh, you know what? I knew the song was for MLK, but I didn't know why. Got it. Okay, so cool beans. Y'all have a good night. Well, have a good day, because that's when y'all listen.
Bye.
Bye.